Good afternoon, League fans, and welcome to Duo Esports Bronze, Silver, Gold Competitive Series, Day 1 of Week 1 here in Season 3. I am your host and play-by-play caster for tonight's games, Yeso, and joining me on the desk, at least for our first couple games here, my old friend Fridge. We're at the start of Season 3, buddy. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good about the start of Season 3 right here, man. I thought I was going to lose you forever, and here we are back together again.
You know what? We just couldn't stay apart. We're star-crossed lovers here, and it was just meant to be, Fridge. I hadn't had enough of you, so I had to come back.
Well, I couldn't just let you go without bringing you with.
Oh, so sweet. Thank you, everybody, so much for joining us. Super excited to kick off the BSGCS Season 3 here tonight with my friend Fridge. Just to run down some of the information that you guys need to know as we start this season. One, best ways to support us, guys. Obviously, easiest way is to make sure that you're watching every week. We are live between Thursdays and Sundays with all of the games we can cover here in the BSGCS. So make sure, if you guys want to get notifications when we are live, follow and subscribe. Those buttons are at the top of your screen, so make sure to check those ones out. Other ways to support us as well: follow us on social media. We're on Twitter at Duo Esports. If you want to consider donating, that link is down in the description, and we do love when you guys contribute bits, so consider doing that as well. And as we get into this league, want to kind of take note of a couple of changes here. Duo Esports BSGCS was previously a best of 2 setup that has been adjusted a little bit here. Teams will more often than not be playing 2 games a week, but it has switched to a best of 1 setup. So for example, tonight we will feature 3 best of 1s. So that's a little bit of an adjustment, but everything should be pretty darn similar to normal. But as we look forward to tonight, we are going to start off with our first game of the night between a couple of fresh teams to the league here. KISS Gaming facing off against OC Nation. Not a whole lot known about these teams, but I Fridge, I want your early thoughts on these rosters and maybe what we can expect from these teams to start the season off.
Like you mentioned, very little to say about these teams as we've not really seen much of them. The only thing we saw, OC Nation, in the preseason, they had a little bit of a rough showing, but they were also against AOL, who looks to be one of the better teams in the season this season, or in the league this season, my apologies. So I don't know if we have much to go off of just by that alone. This one could definitely go either way, but just an early thought, just based on that, I would say KISS Gaming maybe has a decent shot here tonight. But again, very, very little to go off of here, and it's going to be interesting to see what these guys pull out. I know it's patch day and everything, so a little bit of some potential meta changes, and we'll see if any of these teams have some tricks up their sleeves for it, or if we're just going to see the same old from the past couple weeks.
Yeah, definitely should be a very interesting night on multiple fronts. As we mentioned, a couple of new teams don't really know what to expect, so you guys will be, learning about these 2 squads at the same time that we are. And also, as Fridge mentioned there, new patch is live, 8.11. If you are curious about what that entails, make sure to head over to LeagueOfLegends.com. You can see the patch notes over there. A lot of changes to 80 carry items could kind of shift some of that power. I know it shifted a lot of crit carries kind of to later in the game, more towards 3 items. Pike is live. I would be surprised if we saw him, considering he has only just been available today. So I would be very, very surprised if we saw him in a game, but it could certainly happen. Maybe somebody was spamming him in solo queue today to try and get ready to bring out something spicy for tonight's matches, but I would say I wouldn't expect it. Would more lean towards maybe later in this week or week number 2 to see Pike kind of come into the meta. Still not sure kind of where he slides in there, what his power is like, but we do know that Rhett typically likes to release champions at a more powerful point, so people play them a lot, get used to them, start to like them. So we'll have to see if he does show his face in tonight's or just this week's matches. But we are getting prepped. Should be in a draft here pretty quick between KISS Gaming and OC Nation. Looks like we have both teams in the lobby. And
see, now you say going. you say Riot releases champions at a strong point so that people play them. My theory is they release them strong so that people buy their skins. They're like, this champion's awesome, man. I need to get this skin.
Well,
and then they make all the money and then they nerf it into the ground.
I would say that does go along with it, but I think Riot certainly prefers them to come out at a stronger point because they want people to want to play them. I remember when Bard was released and he was like super, super weak. And so they started to buff him to kind of bring him into the meta and to get people to start playing him. And, I would argue that, buying skins does go along with that. So I would not be surprised if Pyke sneaks his way into the meta pretty darn early in patch 8.11.
All right, so it does look like we have both of the teams in the lobby here, so we should be good to go here momentarily.
Yeah, we are going to hit you with that roster rundown here as we get into this first game. On the blue side will be Kiss Gaming with Dazaran in the top lane, Kono in the jungle, Corey Love Football that anchor in the mid lane, Selmy is their AD carry, and Tranquillo maybe swap that up. Selmy in the mid lane, Tranquillo at AD carry, Corey Love Football is at support.
And of course, on the red side of the map, that means we have OC Nation, Big Play, Jodway in the top lane. Jungler is going to be Super Swims 32. Mid lane, Huacas, AD carry, Killjoy 226, and support Rage Inducing. Like how we spelled that to Jin. With the gin. Anyways, those are your rosters.
Clever summoner name. But we should be into Champion Select here for our first game of the day. Again, thank you so much to everybody for joining us tonight. Excited to bring you guys some fun games here to kick off Season 3 of the BSGCS. And we should be ready to go here in just a few moments. Fridge, is there anything specific? I know we mentioned a lot of changes to AD carry items, again, shifting some of that power of those crit carries a little later in the game. Any things that you are specifically looking at for this patch that we could see kind of take effect in this first game?
Speaking very, very early on in this patch, I feel tanks are a little bit weaker based on just the armor pen changes. The hyper carries seem to be something that may be more popular in this patch, though it's still pretty early to say for sure. Outside of that, I guess it's kind of hard to say. We're going to see how it kind of plays out.
All right, well, we are getting into Champion Select right now. Warhead saying the magic word in the background. Big thanks to him for being our stream producer tonight, doing a lot of great work here as we kick off the season, and that is it. We are into draft for game number 1 to kick off the BSGCS Season 3. And we'll have to see what the early bans are here, what people's kind of early take on the meta for things that they really don't want to see. Something tells me they'll be fairly similar to the last patch, just kind of those OPs that people don't want to see, but it is going to be the Cassiopeia banned away first there by Kiss Gaming, not wanting Huacas to take that mid laner.
Yeah, and I think more so at this elo, you're going to see bans that are more targeted toward enemies as opposed to what is strong. Of course, if something they play is strong in the current meta, obviously we'll see that. But especially at these bronze to gold elos, comfort tends to be more popular than strength in meta. So you see Dr. Mundo taken off the board. I mean, honestly, I'm going to say brain dead. Hey, I play him too. I'm a brain dead player, all right? I like that kind of champion. But very, very strong. As of recently, 100% healing on your ult is stupid. Thanks, Riot, for that. Other than that, we see Warwick and Aatrox here taken off the board from Kiss Gaming. Aatrox actually decent at using Conqueror. Can become a massive issue if he gets a lead, though it is a bit of a difficult time trying to get a lead with him at times. On the other side of the map, Fizz and Vi are taken off the board. Vi, I don't. Is Vi pretty strong in this patch? Or I mean, definitely something that's comfort for Kono, but is Vi... He's hovering the plate. He's gonna get my hopes up and then crush him, just like every other time I cast. It's fine. I'm here. Oh my god!
Number one.
Why you top lane?
I am so excited right now.
He's
Literally
low-key,
know so
dude.
little about this champion.
Low key, he's been playing it on PvE for the past month
Oh
and
my
just
gosh.
spamming it. So
All
he can
right,
be
all right.
here at
I'm
it.
pulling up the patch notes now. Didn't think I would have to be prepped for this champion so quickly. Give me a moment, ladies and gentlemen.
Got a dash stun, a slow pull, and an invisible, and an ult. That's all I got for you. I don't know.
He has an ult? No way, Fred.
He has an ult, dude. He's got an ult.
That's ridiculous.
I know, well, crazy to hear that, right?
We are going to see the spicy Pyke lock-in for the first game of the season. Love the just kind of balls there by OC Nation to grab that new champion. They will grab the Amumu as well in their first rotation, and then the response from Kiss Gaming is going to be the Olaf for Kono.
Yes, Sir Olaf has been a very popular jungler for quite a while. Amumu not as popular. Yeah, I say that I have to pause there because it's like I love Amumu and I play Amumu, but it's like it pains me to say it that he's not that popular. But is going to be likely the jungler here, and I play him top, so I say likely the jungler. Maybe they've been watching me. Maybe I taught someone. So I taught Army something. Army plays the support now, dude. Good stuff. Except for he might be trolling when he says he's not going to play it there anymore because of Ultimate Hat getting removed. But
we'll have to see. One thing I want to mention is, as you kind of noted earlier, Pyke's passive on his ultimate is going to be huge if he does get a kill. The last champion to get the assist does get the kill gold as well, so does make that extremely valuable when he is able to take some champions down. Second ban phase, we'll see the Morgana and the Xin Zhao dropped away. Not sure why we're banning the Xin. He did just get nerfed, as well as the Amumu was already selected. I guess he could go top lane, but
I suppose, yeah, I was gonna say, I suppose it's possible that Desiree could take it in the top lane with Conqueror. That I could see that potentially being something that he deems viable at this Evo. I mean, realistically, if he's good enough at it, it's viable anywhere. But
yeah, the Lulu ban is going to be the final ban there for OC Nation. Definitely focusing Corey Love Football's support pool there. And they already know the Caitlyn is there, so they want to kind of take away some protection and some of that kind of lane aggression that you can get with those poke supports.
Yeah, it seems that way.
A little bit of a safer laning phase here. The last ban for the side of Kiss Gaming will be the Zoe. I'm not going to see that one coming up for Huacas, and it's actually going to be the Karthus locked in here. Man, I love this draft so far.
I honestly,
Karthus.
I think from what I saw the other day, at least according to OPGG, Karthus I think had like the 5th highest win rate as a top laner, so it's very possible that this pick could go to the top lane.
Starting to look like this definitely could be the Pyke support. As you kind of alluded to earlier, he can't go to a few lanes, and it will be the Colette is going to go to the top lane. So the Karthus will go mid to Huacas. They will be going into an interesting matchup in the bot lane. You have the Caitlyn Janna for Kiss Gaming into the Twitch Pyke. So certainly some kill pressure for the OC Nation bottom lane, but they will have to deal with that double range bot lane that can deal out quite a significant amount of damage. Solid CC with Janna's slow, as well as the tornado and the Caitlyn traps to set all of that up. So we'll have to see how that one goes as we finish off the draft here. I want to hear, what do you think really kind of won this draft for our first game of the day, Fridge?
I think it's a little bit hard to say exactly what's going to win the draft here with Pyke being so new. I mean, who knows how much he's been practicing it. Maybe he's been on the PvE for the past few weeks just spamming the hell out of it. I don't really know. So that's going to be kind of an interesting thing to watch.
I would hope so, I guess.
But I would say from an overall standpoint, I think I like Kiss Gaming's comp here a little bit better. You have Renekton who can go in, Olaf who can go in, Galio who can follow up, and Janna is going to be able to stay back and protect Caitlyn relatively easily. One thing to actually note is with Pyke's ultimate, it's an execute. So if an enemy champion is below a fixed amount of health, they're dead if he lands it. that being said,
well, another thing to note too is
that Janet's got a shield.
Rage, he did take Ignite too, so he's looking for he and Killjoy to get some kills here in the laning phase.
Yeah, he's definitely looking to secure some kills with that. But the cheese here is going to be, because it actually has, like, it shows you the execute bar, like where you can execute a person at. It turns like a weird, funky shade of red.
Okay.
On their health bar.
Okay.
And when you ult them, usually you think, all right, I can execute them, ult them right away. But if Janna throws up the shield at the right time or hits the ultimate, that could give Caitlyn enough health or enough of a shield to actually live through it, and then he doesn't get the reset from it, because if he gets a kill with it, it's a reset. And that could actually really be fight-changing, just like a Janna shield, something as simple as that. Could really kind of turn the tide of a fight in the bot lane or a team fight. So that's something to pay attention to a little bit. But definitely going to be kind of a big, I guess, a focal point. Something we maybe want to watch a little bit here.
Yeah, I guess the one thing I will say for the side of OC Nation that I'm not really a fan of is if you're going to take the Pyke and you want to kind of try and snowball and really utilize his power and take the Ignite and look for kill pressure, Twitch isn't necessarily the best AD carry for that, not the strongest laning phase. In extended trades can get things going with his poison, but you're playing into a Caitlyn who's going to outrange you and should win a lot of these trades as long as they can kind of keep you at distance. So not necessarily the best AD carry pick to kind of do what maybe the Pyke wants to do in the laning phase, but once they hit level 6 and he does get access to the ultimate, Twitch can do quite a bit of damage there. So we'll have to see how that one plays out. I would imagine they definitely are going to play for that level 6 power spike and Pyke's access to his ultimate as well. We are nearly done with the spectator delay, almost ready to get into our first game. Fridge, God, so excited to be here in Duo Esports, casting for the BSGCS. And as we kick off season 3, I think, almost no better way to kick it off with a very, very interesting draft here on a brand new patch and a brand new season.
Yeah, the brand new patch is going to be a little bit interesting for the players, but it's certainly going to be entertaining for everyone that's watching and us casting. Without a doubt, especially a new champion release, played in the very first game of all things you mentioned earlier. Probably not going to be played this weekend at all, but maybe later on. But here we see it right away.
Something right tells me Rage Inducing was just in stream listening to us preview the series, and they went, "Oh, they don't think we'll play Pyke, or we're picking Pyke, guys."
Sounds like a challenge to me. Challenge accepted.
Our prep out the window. We're playing Pyke just to spite Yeso and Fridge. Not
just to prove a point. Just, you know what? They say I won't do it. Challenge accepted.
We'll have to see how that one plays out. We are loading into game now.
So we're going to have double conquerors in the top lane. No huge surprises there. Coming out of Renekton and Kled, both do pretty well with it. Although, and I don't play it much Kled, but people that do still are kind of telling me that press the attack is better, but it might be a little bit more situational. Renekton definitely, I like Conqueror better on him. Pretty standard out of the jungle in terms of runes. You got the Predator on the Olaf. No surprises there.
I like the kind of global or semi-global pressure from both of these teams. You've got double teleports for the side of Kiss Gaming and a couple of champions that can show up in a lane and really have a huge effect between Galio's ultimate and Renekton just being that kind of early game monster that he is. And then you've also got the Kled with teleport and his ultimate. You've got the Karthus ultimate once he gets to level 6. So there could be some interesting plays around kind of the solo laners and where they want to go on the map and how they want to kind of affect their other lanes here, especially once we hit 6 and they get access to their ultimates.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, Waka's in the mid lane here has grabbed Exhaust. As opposed to, I don't know, barrier, heal, really anything. I don't know. I mean, you're not really going to... Theoretically, you're not going to need that against a Galio early game, but perhaps looking to just maybe flash in on the Caitlyn and exhaust her early on in a fight in the later game.
Yeah, or maybe to try to keep the Renekton off of him in team fights.
Certainly very possible as well.
But yeah, I would agree with you. Not the most beneficial spell in the laning phase, and no Summoner's Spellbook, so won't be able to swap that one out in this game. But we are about ready to get into it.
Oh, dude, we didn't even know. New rune on Twitch. What the hell's the name of it again? New patch. Why you guys got to do this to me? Why are you doing this to me?
It's Hail of Blades, if I remember correctly.
That sounds right. That sounds right. Regardless, your first 3 auto attacks when you attack a champion are going to increase your attack speed by X percentage depending on what Hail of Blades. Yes.
Rita, please. What have you done to us? All right, folks. Well, we are on to the Rift. Game number 1, week number 1, day number 1. We are in Duo Esports BSGCS. We're getting things going here between Kiss Gaming and OC Nation. Both teams moving out on the map here at level 1. We'll have to see if we get any sort of spiciness here. I know Fridge and I are big fans of the 5-man invades. We'll have to see if anything happens here. It looks like possibly a line of scrimmage start on the side of Kiss Gaming.
Yeah, looks very unlikely.
Yeah,
neither team has a particularly spectacular level 1, so... And actually, especially on the side of OC with an Amumu. I mean, your best bet is start Amumu Bandage Toss. But, yeah, you don't want to do that in the jungle. Unless you really kind of want to... I mean, if you really, really want to, like, cripple your jungle clearing, then, I mean, go for the invade. And Bandage Toss someone. You might get a flash. But outside of that... I think it's pretty smart for both teams to just kind of stay where they're at. I actually kind of expect, and this is my top lane talking. I actually kind of expect Renekton to win this lane against a Kled. Just based on early game damage, it can really be surprising once he gets that Fury Bar built up. And Kled takes a surprising amount of damage early game, like early the first few levels. But you can actually, after like Titanic Hydra, he can output an absurd amount himself. So I would expect that in this particular matchup, Big Blade decides to probably farm it out till Titanic, or at least Tiamat, before he tries any funny business.
Alright, well, we did see both junglers starting on their bottom side buffs, getting leashed by their duo lanes, so both of them get down to the bottom lane just a little later. And Killjoy actually missing out on a few CS despite hitting lane first, so that's not going to feel too good. He will not have quite as much gold, but making it up a little bit as of right now. We'll have to see if either of these junglers want to make any effect on their lanes early. Dazaran does have the early push going on against Jadwe, so we'll have to see if maybe Super Swims gets his little bandages up to the top side. Ooh, good pull there, landed by Rage. Pueblo Football is actually going to take a lot of damage. Flashes away. There's going to be the heal out for Tranquilo. He's burning for the Ignite, but it's not going to be enough. Very close, though. Able to force out 2 Summoner Spells. Traded for 3, though, so actually a positive trade in the Summoner Spell department for the Kiss.
Another good ball
lane, but yeah, Tranquilo's going to get pulled in. Rage is going to try and lock him down. He's going to get stunned. Killjoy's getting the damage out. There's no heal. Can't look at a flash of the wall. Just escape the poison. Not enough to take him down, but another scary moment as that flash is forced out in the 2v1.
Yeah, so you were saying something about this lane probably losing, but man, they're kind of a little bit of a fight here in the mid lane.
Yeah, Selmy actually gonna get caught out, forcing out a lot of damage. The Amumu forced the flash away, but that's gonna be first blood for Huacas there on the Karthus. Pretty solid start there for the OC Nation mid laner. As Selmy Super Swims, able to get a good gank into the mid lane onto Selmy.
So super smart there from Super Swims, walking up and actually forcing the flash before he uses the bandage toss, following up with the bandage toss to be sure he lands.
Good pull there from Rage Inducing. They're gonna catch up the king. It's gonna be the for Killjoy.
So I gotta be honest, Ray seems like he's pretty smart with this pick right about now. Feels like he's been playing it for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna go buy Pyke now.
Now Pyke's super fun. I got a chance to play him a little bit earlier today.
I gotta exit out of spectating and go buy Pyke. So
we're done casting. We gotta go play Pyke.
Sorry guys, I'll see you later.
Yeah, he's been on point with those pulls this game. From what I've seen, 3 for 3. There's a chance I might have missed something somewhere, but direct camera OP. And somewhat as expected here in the top lane, Dazaran on this Renekton, kind of imposing as well. But Olaf here, we've got Kano knows exactly where Super Swims
here
is
comes
at.
Dazaran. They're trying to collapse onto Super Swims. He's going to attempt to get under his tower. It does have Jodway here to kind of protect him. So it looks like Kiss Gaming won't be able to catch out the Amumu here, but they might go for the dive, possibly. Gonna force the flash out of the Kled. Semi gonna get the taunt under the tower, but he's gonna take a few tower shots. That's risky. Here comes Kled, gonna charge and go for Selmy, and able to grab the kill. That's a third kill for OC Nation. Now they're gonna try and back away. Dazzler trying to chase them down. Jodway's gonna go down here, and Kono able to grab the kill. Super Swim going pretty low as he goes in for the reply, and the tower shot will actually finish off Dazzler. Walkus is roamed up here, gonna try and take down Kono. Can he chase down the Olaf? He is gonna force out the flash. This Walkus, go for it. He does flash, lands the kill, and that's gonna be another kill for the Karthus. 2-0-1. Now Rage wants to go into the bottom lane. We're getting some early aggression here at 5 minutes. Not backed off because he doesn't get stunned. But still, OC Nation feeling very, very confident in this early game. And now up 5 kills to 1.
Yeah, and actually some fun little cheese in the bot lane we saw there at the back side of that play. Because they're double stealth down there, you can go in there pretty easily and get the engagement you're looking for with... I should clarify, OC has double stealth in the bot lane. Obviously not Janna Caitlyn, for those of you that no league in the slightest. But yeah, both of them have a stealth, so they can actually get a nice little nifty engage flank or just surprise play setup if they choose, and that's kind of what they did there. But not a whole lot of damage. Now, to note on that last play, a very good roam from Walkus there.
Ooh, that's going to be pulling the Tranquilo. The Ignite's going to come out, and it's going to be able to finish the kill. It's Killjoy. Be able to grab that now. He is going to use the heal to try and get his support away. Wow, that was really loud. Here comes...
Wait.
Sell me to the bottom lane, trying to help out Kono. Going to try and chase him under tower, but not really anything going there. Kind of a wasted ultimate there by the Galio, coming down to the bottom side, not able to get anything done there onto the OC Nation bottom lane, and Jodway and Dazaran continuing to trade on the top side. Interestingly enough, wasn't quite confident in that Twitch in the 2v2, but they played so well around Rage Inducing's Pike that they've been able to secure 2 kills for the Twitch, get him an early lead, and a big part of the nearly 3,000 gold lead that OC Nation has been able to build here in the early game.
Yeah, the interesting thing here on this what I'm seeing, he's gone for Phage, which leads me to believe he's going for Black Cleaver first here in the top lane, and that'll match very likely Dazaran's Black Cleaver rush, assuming that they both rush, but neither of them went Tiamat, and both of these champions do pretty well on an early Tiamat and then a Black Cleaver. Actually, Kled, I've heard, does a bit better just rushing straight up the Titanic Hydra and then going for your Black Cleaver, but I'm not sure exactly how that'll specifically impact the game as a whole, but in top lane, just kind of an interesting thing to make a note of there. In terms of the bot lane, you're starting to see a very, very significant lead built up here for OC Nation with 51 CS here on Killjoy, as opposed to the 28 on Tranquilo's Caitlyn. So that's actually, honestly, that's Ray's Pike.
Selmy's in big trouble here. He's going to get caught out, and that's going to be the kill for the Pike there, meaning he can share that kill gold with that last assist. Selmy going in a little too far and gets collapsed on by OC Nation. Now we're getting another heavy trade in the top side. Scarl is going to run for the hill, so Jodway has to back off here. Rage trying to get out into the bottom lane. He is stealth, going for Tranquilo. He's going to force out the flash there. He looked for the spear, I guess. We'll go with spear. Oh, here comes Scarl's back. Dazaran could be in trouble. Doesn't have the ultimate available and is forced to flash away from the Kled. Scary moment there for the Kiss Gaming top laner, overestimating his power in this lane and gets punished for it. Can we talk about the fact that the Jhin stealth sound effect is way too loud? Or is that just me? Oh my gosh, she is going to go in here though, trying to chase that.
Yeah.
He's going to take a lot of damage in return. Steps on the traps, and that's going to be the kill for Tranquillo. from the Caitlyn, able to get some gold back there. He's been struggling in this laning phase.
A little bit too ham there from him. But, God, and this is not right, dude. Stop, Riot, stop. You're just looking for an excuse to make assassin supports. No support should be able to rush a serrated Dirk. Get out of here, Riot.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but, like, assassin and support should just not be in the same sentence together.
You're a support,
unless you're talking about
saying
an assassin killing a support.
You're a support and you're saying that now. Come on.
I know, and I'm gonna play him, but let's be honest, it shouldn't be a thing. Because I'm gonna be fanning it every game that I'm not like first pick.
Yeah, he seems to be pretty strong from what we've seen here so far.
They may have caught out the Shanna. The Flash is gonna be forced out. Here's the Ignite, trying to chase him down. Killjoy getting out a lot of damage. Sponge will finish the kill as Corey Love Football goes down.
Honestly, just Ray imposing his will on this Pike pick so far this game. This massive advantage built up very largely in the bot lane, honestly. And you could say Huacas has built up a pretty significant lead for himself here in the mid lane as well. We haven't talked too much about the mid lane. Maybe are Galio lanes boring?
Yeah, I mean, he's just going to use his Winds of War to clear, you know, the cast minions most of the time and just let you push into him, and he'll just focus on wave clear. So there really isn't a whole lot going on. And Rage Inducing trying to get down to the bottom side does go into his stealth, just back away as Kono was in the vicinity. Don't want to take that 2v3 even at their strength right now. Dazaran, he could be in big trouble. He is still caught by the bear trap on a rope. Takes some good damage here, down to about half health. So good trade there for Jodway on the top side. Feeling pretty strong on this Kled. Down by a few CS, but that kill and assist with that Phage he has, making him feel pretty confident here on the top side.
I actually think Dazaran is underestimating himself. If he gets that Fury Bar filled up, he can do probably more damage than he thinks. I mean, I'm sure he knows his damage output, but I think he'll do more damage than he thinks, because honest to God, Renekton is obnoxious, especially with Conqueror on him. If you have that Conqueror active, you can jump in and attack an enemy champion and literally 100-0 them, like within seconds if you have that full.
Ooh, this could be big trouble. Killjoy has activated the ultimate Rage. We see Royal Football's going to go low, and that's going to be the kill for the Twitch, and the ultimate from the Pike finishes that one off.
Hey!
He's dead.
Death from below. It's the first death from below. What up? The significant thing to note about that ultimate is that he does share the entirety of that gold with the last allied champion that assisted it.
Ooh, here comes the Kled, trying to get after Selmy. He's going to defend himself as best he can, but not enough as Huacas is able to grab the kill. Kono's going to get slowed down as he shows up in the mid lane, trying to defend this rift here that Super Swim is dropped, but it might not be enough as OC Nation is looking to push for this mid lane tower. They're going to be able to secure first tower here. They'll get the Rift Tail charge onto the tower. Nope, the eye is going to be popped there by Kono, so we'll save the health for his mid lane tier 2. Still first tower, as well as a kill going over to OC Nation.
Yeah, and that's on top of their already pretty significant advantage that they built up. We're sitting at 6,000 gold here.
Rage is feeling really confident, and Jodway does dash in. He's going to force the teleport out of Dazaran as he showed up on the bottom side, and Rage Inducing pretty low there after that trade. We'll heal up a little bit.
TP being down is something pretty significant to note here out of Dazaran. Big Boy Jodway still has that teleport, so he can pretty much do what he wants and then utilize that, assuming he uses it somewhere where Dazaran can't see him. Use that as he pleases.
Looks like Huacas wants to come to the bot side. He's going to look to get the gank going. Dazaran needing a lot of damage here. Has the ultimate, will proc it. Rage Induce is going to go pretty low. Does get a little bit of the heal, and there's the ultimate from Selly coming to the bottom side. He's going to try and get the taunt into Huacas. He's going to be able to grab it, but the Caitlyn is forced to flash away, and the Janna ult will knock Huacas away, so no kills for the side of Kiss Gaming, but Dazaran does go down, so that's one for OC Nation. Huacas pretty confident here, trading just 3v1, but could be in big trouble. He's alone. He's going to get taunted by the Galio. There's the trap laid down, and that's going to be the shutdown for Selmy, as the over-aggression from Huacas will cost him his life. Doesn't have the ultimate, so Tranquil will survive as will Selmy on the Galio.
Yeah, and those lay wastes doing a lot of damage on those isolated targets, but without the Requiem available, not able to pick up any kills off the backside of that, even with the passive up.
Pike wants a kill. He's got the Caitlyn in his sights. Kono's here as well. He's going to flash in. Does he have the ultimate? He does. He's going to go for it. That's going to be the kill for Rage, inducing his third of the game. 3-1 in 5. Man, that sound effect is loud, but he's going to get executed there by Kono. Good finish as he is able to take out the assassin support. We are going to get our first pause of the season as we near the 15-minute mark in this game. Looks like
it is not a dual esports game without pause.
Rage-inducing appears to have bug splatted, maybe Wackus as well. So we are going to get the reconnects and hopefully get right back into game here in just a few moments.
Well, I take back everything I said about OC Nation before the game. Their preseason game was a bit rough, but man, they're looking pretty strong here tonight against Kiss Gaming.
Yeah, they have definitely looked impressive so far, and the pause is already up here. Killjoy trying to chase down Kono, not able to finish him off, but we'll take him pretty darn low and force him off of this Ocean Drake. The first Drake, the mountain was grabbed by OC Nation, and they want to maintain control over that neutral objective, so Super Swims will move his way down here. Killjoy actually looking for a kind of solo move down to the bot side. Going to try and catch out Corlo. Football does force out the flash, and content with that, we'll go back to farming the wave and let the Janna escape for now.
I have noticed this in the top lane now. I'm sorry. Big Play Jadway is doing one of my favorite things to do, which is not always the smartest, but he's going for the one of everything build. He's got the Tiamat, the Phage, the Candle Gem, and the boots. I tend to prefer I mean, I can understand getting a part of an item, but I prefer to finish, especially on Pled, who I'm not the smartest person to go off of, because I don't play him a ton. But Titanic Hydra, definitely a rush item on him. Whereas I feel Renekton maybe should have gone Tiamat for the wave clear before going to a Black Cleaver. Like, there's situations where you can and should do things like that, but this isn't particularly.
Azaran wants to go aggressively here in the mid lane. Jadway has got quite a bit of damage, but the Kled actually fairly tanky at this point in the game. And not a ton of damage, honestly, coming out from the squad there of Kiss Gaming. And Rage Inducing is going to try and chase down Kono. Is going to force out the ultimate, so he is unstoppable and will escape from that aggression as Drake is still up. And both teams looking to play around it. Looks like we have all 10 members in this game on the bottom side. Rage Inducing wants to get the kill here on the bottom side. Pueblo Football going to take a lot of damage. Rage will actually just back away before going for the stun. Ooh, man, Killjoy comes in and able to take quite a significant chunk out of Caitlyn's health. Jadway forces the flash away, so he kind of gets caught out by the 3-man roaming squad there of Kiss Gaming. Killjoy trying to get away, has the flash available. Here comes the ult from the Galio, and is going to force the flash out of the Twitch. Now Kiss Gaming having to run, because here comes Wackus. Rage Inducing is gone still. He's going in. He's going to try and get after Selmy, and is going to lock him down, at least for the moment. There's going to be the bandage toss onto the Caitlyn. He's going to go down. Good ultimate from the Amumu. There's the ultimate coming out from Wackus. Is going to take down one. Dazaran's low. Kono's trying to run there pretty low as well. They're going to try and stand in tower, see what they can do here, but there's a lot of damage coming out. That's going to be the double kill for Jadway. And another tower. Great fight as OC Nation grabs the early ace.
Yeah, and Big Play able to drop tower aggro there by Scarl, bailing on him. Does go untargetable for a brief second there. Can we just start calling him Yoshi? Like, honestly, he's Yoshi, right?
Yoshi, yeah, right.
I'm waiting for him to make that skin. If they didn't get in trouble for the King Rammus skin, man, I would really love a Yoshi Scarl skin.
Well, that is going to be the 4th tower now picked up by the side of OC Nation, as they're able to push through the Tier 1 and Tier 2 on the bottom side after that great fight there. They also did secure, in the meantime, that Ocean Drake, so that's a Mountain and an Ocean stacked up for OC Nation. Rage Inducing so confident right now on this Pike, is so strong with that 4, 3, and 6 score. A support building Duskblade.
It ain't right.
Can we talk? Can we talk about this, Riot?
I don't want to talk about this.
What
Riot.
is this?
Stop. You messed up.
Everything is wrong. What is going on?
Everything I knew about League is just
supports building Duskblade. Graves doesn't have a cigar. What is going on?
You know what? That one bothers me a little bit, man. It's like they're trying to act like cigars don't exist. Like, whatever. I don't know. Cigars are a figment of your imagination. They don't exist.
Don't smoke, kids. It's bad for your health.
What they should have done is they should have given him the cigar and then just nerfed him into the ground to make it like, all right, see, it's because of the cigar that he's so weak. Kids, don't smoke or you'll be this weak.
Well, Super Swims did get caught out a little bit there trying to lay down some, but able to escape from Kono there. Oh, man.
Looks like the Baron will be up here shortly, and very, very possible here that OC Nation could try to make a pretty early play towards that. They have an 11,000 almost gold advantage, 10,500.
That is a big gold lead here as we near the 20-minute mark for OC Nation. They have looked very, very impressive in their debut in the BSGCS. Great play from them so far, not only having a great game, but bringing out some special picks here. The Karthus in the mid lane, the Amumu in the jungle, and that Pike support on day one on live. Rage Inducing wants to flash in, is going to flash onto the trap, but it's not going to matter. Is Killjoy able to grab the kill there? His 6th of the game. Now he's going for Corey Love football. Does he get the expunge? He is going to be forced to heal as he runs away from Selmy, but just going to be able to survive as Hawkus able to grab the kill with his ultimate on to the support. Rage Inducing diving in very deep. He is going to get traded down though by Dazaran. He was able to take down Selmy's Galio. Super Swim is here, trying to maybe make something happen, but doesn't go in as of yet. Killjoy's pretty low, so is Hawkus, so they have to kind of play this carefully. They are going to get the push going. They have a fresh Minion Wave showing up here in the mid lane. They're going to look for a tier 2. Tranquillo is on his way back from the fountain, so he won't be able to set up that trap line yet, and that means that OC Nation can get the initial kind of start on this tier 2 town. We'll get a little bit of health out of it, but once that Minion Wave is cleared out, they're forced to back away. Baron is live now. We hit the 21-minute mark, and looks like we'll see backs from most of OC Nation to go spend the gold that they're sitting on, come back out onto the map and look for their next objective. Could be that top lane or mid lane tier 2. We'll have to see if they can maybe force Kiss Gaming into a fight. They're so strong right now and would love to go 5v5 into that team. Could set them up to possibly get an early Baron as Hawkus is going down to the top side. The net will get Tranquillo away from the very scary Karthus. 6-1-7 right now. Hawkus so big, and Rage Inducing wants to go in the Vantage Toss. Will miss as the flash comes out from Tranquillo, as well as the heal. The hook does land, but no further crowd control. But Super Swim is going to go in aggressively, but Selmy has shown up on the bottom side. Ooh, there's going to be the flash, and the Curse of the Sad Mummy is going to lock down Tranquillo. He doesn't have any help, but it's not going to matter as Rage Inducing throws a spear from the side and secures the kill. Selmy's in trouble. He's going to get pulled back by the bear trap on a rope, and that's going to be a kill for the clan. Now they're trying to get after Kono there. He's going to go low. That's another kill for Rage Inducing, his 7th of the game, and 3 kills for the side of OC Nation. Mean they could possibly grab an inhibitor tower. Rage gonna take a couple of tower shots. Don't know if he necessarily needed to do that, but they are going to get pressure onto this tower. They do have Killjoy pushing on the top side. They're going to go for the dive onto Dazaran. A lot of damage coming out. Dropped aggro there by Jodway as Scarl flees, but Dazaran wants to go in. He's going to flash, get the stun into Jodway. Jodway forced to flash away. The Vantage Toss in from Super Swims is going to take a lot of damage, and that's going to be a kill for the Caitlyn. Traded, though, as Dazaran does go down as well. Tranquillo is down here to defend this tower, so they will save the inhibitor tower, but the problem is Killjoy on the top side, able to grab the tier 2 and the inhibitor tower before he is forced to back off. So I'd say pretty darn solid trade for OC Nation as they continue to dominate this game, now up nearly 15,000 gold. Man, yeah, that is an impressive lead.
Almost 15k here. Can you answer me this? Why did Riot decide it was a good idea for supports to get kills all of a sudden?
I mean, I guess at least they put in the mechanic to give over,
right.
So it makes sense, but
it's their way of trying to justify him as a support, even though his kid screams jungle. In my eyes, personally, anyways. His early clear might be a little bit rough, but once you get past that early clear, I feel good at early ganks, and honestly, being able to share with whoever you're ganking is a nice little bonus as well. I feel like his kit kind of says jungle, personally. But I guess Ray seems to disagree with me as he's kind of stomping with it right now.
Yeah, we do have OC Nation going to take down this Baron. Dazaran shows up way too late to defend that. He's going to slice over the wall, but he's going to get followed here by the Kled. The ultimate is going to catch him. He's going to get locked down. There's the bandage toss in the finish by Hawkus. 7-1-10 on the Karthus. He is a big boy, and it looks like OC Nation wants to push on the top side. They've got that exposed inhibitor. Rage Inducing is getting the push going there in the mid lane. Baron buffing up those Mingyu waves. Going to get that going as he now starts to roam his way to the top side. Looks like this inhibitor should go down pretty easily, but somebody wants to go in. Is going to get the taunt onto a few. And oh man, Killjoy just firing away from the backline, able to grab the double kill. Grabs the triple as down goes Corey Love Football. And Tranquillo trying to flash away. Hawkus is going to go in. Killjoy wants the quadra. That's the quadra kill. Can he get the penta? No, he will not. Oh, VM as his team steals away the penta. Dazaran is here. Could he maybe get it? He's going to try and chase us down. Team isn't going to be able to secure it for him, though. That's going to be OC Nation on to the Nexus Towers. Oh, man, Killjoy going to feed over kills into OC Nation. Wants to give him the penta, but it's not going to be enough. But still, OC Nation will kick off the BSGCS Season 3 with a victory over Kiss Game.
And a very convincing victory at that. They looked extremely strong in all lanes here, really.
Yeah, just an impressive start across the board. Bringing out some fresh stuff, the Hail Blades, bringing out the Amumu and the Karthus, and a brand new champion to the game, and just showing off on it. I mean, 7, 5, and 10. A couple more deaths than he probably would have preferred after how strong they were in the laning phase, but still an impressive performance by Rage Inducing, bringing out that new pick and showing, hey man, he's got some pretty spicy stuff.
He's very strong.
Yeah,
very strong. I completely agree.
I mean, I would love to check out. Let's take a peek at the damage numbers here as we look.
The Pike. Now, if Pike out damages like one of the I don't think he actually out damages Twitch or Karthus here, but
he didn't. He out damaged though the Caitlyn and the Olaf, which is not entirely surprising considering how far behind they were. But nearly 10,000 damage for a support in a 25-minute game. That's pretty darn good. And regardless of the damage, the just amount of times that he was setting up kills for his team, landing the pulls, getting
those pulls were so on point. He landed,
especially in the laning phase.
Very few that he missed in the entire game. Very few, and I don't think I saw him miss one during lane phase.
Yeah, he was just extremely impressive on that pick, showing that he was putting his time in, getting his practice in. I would assume on the PBE prior to him being released, and definitely paid off as OC Nation will start off their season here with a victory. Kiss Gaming sadly going to drop their debut here in the BSGCS, but still some things to build on from that first game of the season. And we can take a peek as well at damage taken. And yeah, the Kled just eating, we talked about a couple times with Jadway roaming down to the mid lane. There was at one point where there was kind of that 3v2 and he was getting just unloaded on by Kiss Gaming, but he was pretty darn tanky. Skrull doing a lot of work keeping him alive and tanked nearly 3,000 damage there. So did 23,000 damage, I should say. The Olaf taking a lot as well, doing a big job frontlining, but not enough to get Kiss Gaming the win. Take a peek at those vision scores as well. Let's see what
gotta make Death Scythe happy here. We gotta check the vision.
Yeah. His favorite part. Let's see. I'll take I'm looking at words placed. I mean, the Pike not only doing a lot of damage, setting up a lot of kills, but doing a good job getting vision out on the map. Placed 40 or had a 48 vision score, so getting wards out, clearing out wards as well. So doing a great job of that. Actually had, by and large, the most wards destroyed, killed 8 enemy wards. The next best in the game was 3 by both Super Swims and Killjoy there. So doing a good job of vision control throughout that game, and was, a big part of helping them set up a lot of those kills. So great performance there, again, by Rage Inducing. Impressive across the board for OC Nation as The support dying 5 times was the most on the team. Everybody else only had 1. So really not giving away a whole lot of gold there. Everybody better be buying control wards as well. We'll have to take a peek at that little stat here. Control wards purchased. Yeah, Jonah and Renekton not doing a whole lot there. Neither of them placing any control wards. That's it's not really going to do you a lot of good, especially from the support. I mean, the support should be buying tons of control wards, so that's going to need a little fix there to help with some of that vision. Maybe protect that KISS Gaming lineup as they are behind in that game. But that is going to finish it off for our OC Nation versus KISS Gaming to start off the season here in the BSGCS. Fridge, I would say, pretty darn fun way to kick things off here in Season 3.
Absolutely. Exceptionally interesting to see Pyke in the first game as well. That was fun to watch, and actually pretty convincing bot lane play out of him as well.
Definitely in him. Alrighty, folks. Well, as we do prepare for our second game of the day between Conquer Gaming and Either Esports, we are going to send it to a little bit of a break here, but stick with us. We will be right back at the top of the hour with our next game of the night here as we kick off Season 3 here in the BSGCS. So hang out. We'll be right back.
Stay one more night. Don't you know that my love is true? Let's make things right. I understand what you're going through. Stay one more night, and I know that it's not too late. Let's make things right. You just have to believe in faith.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to day one here of season 3 of the Bronze, Silver, Gold competitive series presented by Duo Esports. I am Yeso, your play-by-play caster, joined by Fridge with the color commentary. Thank you so much for being patient. Did have to resolve a little something with a ruling there. Aether Esports was a little late getting into Champion Select, and while they were resolving that, Conquer Gaming did say that they were fine with waiving any sort of ban penalties. So that's what we were figuring out before we got into Champion Select here, but we are in here. So we're just going to get right into things with a little roster rundown on the blue side here for game number 2 of the day is going to be Conqueror Gaming. Rutledge's Beast is going to be their top laner. Gimpy the first in the jungle. Phoenix is their mid laner. PG Sparky at 80 carry and Jester of Time at support.
All right. And the red side, we have Aether Esports, Dewey in the top lane, Law in the jungle, SVU in the mid lane, Phantom will be the AD carry, and Knight is going to be supporting him this game.
If I want your opinion, I'll beat it out of you.
The bans so far, we have Anivia Kaisa taken off of the board here from the side of Conqueror. Aether removing Katarina and Vi so far. Camille also taken off the board. Dewey does like Camille, if memory serves me correct, so not a bad idea. Take that one down. And the Zoe, nobody wants to go against the Zoe tonight. We've seen that banned a couple of times now. Alawi will just be instantly first picked. Interesting decision to pick that right off the bat, but definitely a capable top laner in the current meta. I'm interested to see what kind of runes he goes. I've seen initially I've seen Conqueror lately. Conqueror seems to be like what Alawi's like to go, because you get so much extra damage out in fights. They're kind of running through these picks pretty quick. Let me talk about what they're picking, man. They're just picking
something I do want to note here is Aether Esports locking in their rotation is the Lucian Braum. Seems like with some of the changes we have seen in AD carry itemization in this new patch on 8.11 would possibly push Lucian back into the meta in the bot lane. We haven't really seen him in the bottom lane in a long time. It's been at least I would say a couple of years since we've really consistently seen him down there. We've most recently seen him in the mid lane, but paired with that Braum, one of my favorite duo lanes there, honestly, Lucian and Braum.
I completely
great
agree.
synergy. When you get the double tap comboed with Braum's concussive blows, so very, very strong in those quick trades because you can proc that Braum stun easily. They also will grab the Ornn, and Conquer, we do see the Alawi, Ezreal, and Sejuani pick. So they're going to be looking for a support as well as a mid laner in their last phase, and jungler and mid laner going to be looking forward for Aether Esports. So I would imagine we'll see those reflected in the bans, as the Nami is banned away by Aether Esports and the Malzahar by Conqueror Gaming.
I feel like throughout this game, I'm gonna just like screw something up. Like I'll be talking about the rune Conqueror, but I'm gonna say Conqueror, and then everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, he's talking about the team," or he's talking about the rune.
We need all of Conqueror Gaming to all run Conqueror. That's the only way to
that
do
would
it.
just be the do-all end-all right there. That'd
have
just be
to do
perfect.
it.
Like that's the free win. Free win.
And we have to change Aether Esports to Airy Esports. It's perfect.
I suppose we could make that. Yeah, we can make that work.
We figured it out. You know what?
We can make that work. I
perfect.
think they could. I think they, for some reason, owe me that.
I mean, BSGCS is scripted anyway, right?
You know what? It's actually, I think it's a season of ES3, if I remember correctly. So yeah, I think it's a. I mean, they haven't told us yet, but I'm just assuming.
Oh, okay. I mean, we haven't gotten the final draft of the script, but the kind of initial stuff we've seen so far.
Initial stuff, yeah. And now, actually, something to note: the Sejuani ESG learned the hard way has not worked well in the jungle as of lately. We learned that in the preseason, but it is going to get picked up here. I can only assume that's the jungler. Maybe there's some cheese up their sleeves. But not one of the stronger junglers on this current patch, so we'll see how they plan to use that in the jungle. Vladimir locked in for their mid lane, and Orianna locked in on the other side of the map here from Aether. I kind of like the AoE that Conqueror is going for overall, though. I think the jungler is not necessarily the jungler as a person is the weak point, but like the pick is kind of one of the weaker junglers in the current meta. Now Knight is covering Yi.
And
Does actually lock it in. Spicy pick here.
Yeah, gonna be interesting to see how that one plays.
Here, yeah, and with the way that Scuttles work now, you should have no problem having Scuttle control against a Sejuani. They've got a pretty massive focus in the current meta. This past patch and this one as well. They really didn't put any changes on that. So we'll see what ends up actually happening, but based on theory, Law should have no problem kind of manhandling Gimpy here in the jungle. That being said, I did mention Conqueror's built themselves a pretty strong AoE comp, so that could easily carry them to victory when team fights start to happen.
One thing I do want to note here, the Rakan lock-in for Jester of Time, it's pretty rare to see Xayah and Rakan picked kind of on their own separately. And the interesting thing to note here was the Xayah was available, wasn't taken by Conqueror Gaming, so they elected to go the Ezreal Rakan lane on its own. And there's been a lot of talk about, Xayah or Rakan's better on their own or whatever. I have to say, with the changes that were made to Rakan a couple of patches ago, buffing his dash distance to champions that aren't Xayah while keeping that kind of extended range the same, Rakan does still feel pretty darn good on his own, still has great engage power and good little bit of poke with his Q. So I'm curious to see how comfortable Jester of Time is on this champion, especially without the Xayah selection with it, and could enable some good things in the bottom lane. They do have to deal with, like we talked about, that great 2v2 in the Lucian and Braum, can trade very aggressively once the Braum is able to get a passive stack onto one of the enemies. So could be some interesting stuff in the laning phase for this bottom lane matchup.
Yeah, I completely agree. And Rakan, honestly, pretty strong, just honestly with any AD carry as of now. Ezreal very likely to go that double tier build that's been super, super strong as of lately. And that can become pretty obnoxious going into the mid late game. And especially if he goes Iceborne Gauntlet, you're not going to really be able to get onto him. Even like just trying to chase him down is the biggest pain in the ass. So unless you're able to get someone off to the side, burst him, perfect job for AE Law. Imagine that. But Law, we're gonna look to Law to probably try to one-shot Sparky here, and that's really gonna be their best bet of killing this Ezreal if he goes the Iceborne build, because with that Master Yi ultimate, he's not gonna be able to be slowed by those Iceborne passives. So that's probably their best bet of locking him down, and by locking I mean killing him down. But overall, I think top lane's kind of a toss-up. Law should win mid lane, Law should win jungle. Mid lane goes a little bit of a toss-up here as well. Depends on if SVU can land some really commanding shockwaves, or if Phoenix will get his ultimates off a little bit better here. Bot lane is also a toss-up because, as you mentioned, Aether has a really solid combo down here in the bot lane. Whereas, I mean, Rakan just, I think, an extremely strong support personally. One of my favorites, without a doubt. And Ezreal, arguably one of the best AD carries in the current meta. Lucian kind of being the question mark here. Haven't seen him much at the AD carry slot as of lately.
Yeah, we will have to see how that one pans out. One thing I do want to ask you about, you did kind of talk about Law kind of having the edge in the 1v1 matchup with the Yi into the Sejuani. But I'm curious your thoughts. Yi kind of typically thought of more of a solo queue pick because he can really struggle into coordinated crowd control from another team. If you lock him down and are able to layer that CC, it's pretty easy to burn through his health bar. And he's going to go into, you've got the Glacial Prison, the Frostbite from the Sejuani. You've got the Rakan with his ultimate and his grand entrance. So I'm curious how effective you think Law can be on this Master Yi, especially if maybe he doesn't get ahead in the early game. If he's even or behind, do you think he's really going to struggle on this pick?
I definitely think if he's behind, he's going to struggle. Because, as I mentioned earlier, the AoE comp that Conqueror's built here can be really, really strong when they get to team fights. That being said, I actually expect Yi to do a pretty solid job here in the early game because, honestly, Alawi can clear waves and react, but there's no hard CC there. Whereas Ornn will have, at the very least, a knockback, possibly a knock up as well, if he can land the CC. You'll have a shield from Orianna. I'm just speaking of, like, lanes reacting to, like, something potentially happening at, say, a Scuttle Crab or whatever. Whereas Vladimir's early damage, I mean, he's got the poke, but in terms of a full-on fight, he's not the strongest. And, I mean, Alawi is better once she gets ultimate. So, I actually anticipate Laud having a decent time in this early game if he plays it right.
All right, well, we're going to have to see just how this one plays out. Loading is done. We are on to the Rift game number 2 of the day as we kick off Season 3 of the BSGCS Conquer Gaming versus Aether Esports. We're getting it going right now. Summoners coming off of the platforms. We get out onto the map here, and we'll have to see how this level 1 goes. We saw line of scrimmage starts by both teams in game number 1. We'll have to see if that sets up here at game 2. Aether Esports does have a phenomenal level 1. Anytime you have a Braum on your team, your level 1 is going to be extremely strong, but it looks like Aether Esports is going to go for the line of scrimmage start here as well. Just not wanting to run into Conqueror here at level 1. So both teams going to play it safe, and we'll have to see where the junglers want to start here for the early game.
Yeah, Aether's playing it a little bit on the safe side. I completely agree. I actually think with the concussive blows and that double shot or that you get, apparently it's Light Slinger as I just now looked. Double shot, Light Slinger. I blame you because you said double shot earlier and I was going off of what you said.
Like the common term is like his double tap. It is the technical term is Light Slinger, but it's commonly referred to as like his double tap.
Yeah, I think that's an extremely strong level 1 here. They could try and get something off at level 1 if they chose to, but obviously line of scrimmages here. And actually, Stojan does mention Conquer on the Alawi instead of Klepto. I actually, you'd be surprised. I mean, yeah, tank matchup, you can abuse it a little bit easier, but even still, Conqueror, once you get the team fights, is insanely busted on Alawi. As long as you don't fall, like, so far behind that it's negligible.
Well, we will see both junglers starting on the bottom side, getting the leashes from their duo lanes. We'll have to see how that lane plays out here in the early game, as Phantom and Knight definitely do have a go button if Knight can land his Winter's Bite and start to proc that concussive blows. And just over time will eat a little bit of damage there, but has the shield, so he's not going to feel too darn bad. Rutledge does maybe want to go for a trade here, but that Ornn's trading pretty darn strong here in the early game. Dance wants to go in on SVU and is going to get quite a bit of damage there with the Q and back away as he trades into the Orianna. Now see both junglers on their respective top side buffs, clearing those ones out. We'll have to see either of them want to make their presence felt in any of these lanes early. Yi, not the strongest of gankers, especially once when he doesn't have access to his ultimate to really kind of stick to his target. So I would imagine we won't see him too much in the lanes, but Sejuani can get some things done in the early game if Gimpy so chooses. So we'll have to see how that one plays out.
Yeah, and Law is likely to act more reactively.
Oh, looks like he wants to go to the
but
top
I say
side.
that, he's going top.
Yeah, he's going to get in behind Rutledge. The way is pretty low here, though, so any help for Law. Law's going to eat some damage from the Tentacle and a little bit of return there from Rutledge. And the first gank will be not very effective as the Alawi absorbs that pretty darn easily and wins the trade in return.
Yeah, and that actually just shows how strong that Test of Spear here is on the Alawi. That is her pull. Being able to pull that soul out of an enemy and actually just damage them while they can basically do nothing about it or risk taking double the damage, basically. Technically double the damage. Right now it's actually a relatively low percentage, but once you upgrade that, it's like 80% of that damage that goes over. So that's actually, I think, a predetermined gank from Law there, where he's like, alright, I'm gonna clear this and come straight to top, but right before it happened,
Rutledge could be in big trouble. He's gonna get collapsed on. Gimpy is gonna force out a cheer. They will back away as Law has shown up, but good start there for the Sejuani as Gimpy can force out the flash on the Aether Esports mid laner, and that means that he can show up in the next few minutes and possibly make that gank stick.
Yeah, good start, as you mentioned, but I think he could have actually probably walked up to that and then just auto-attacked him, forced out that flash, and then dashed to him. And maybe gotten a lockdown, maybe would have gotten a kill, maybe I'm completely off on it. I don't know, I might be talking on my ass for all I know.
And, I mean, at least could have forced out the barrier as well, I would imagine, if he does wait that out, force the flash first, then charge. Almost guaranteed to force out that second summoner spell, but still, can't complain too much about getting that flash for essentially free. Knight wants to go in here in the bottom lane. Sparky is going to get stacked up. Not enough, though, to finish the concussive blows, and Sparky will get away. Not really losing a whole lot of health there. Livercon pretty good at protecting his carries as they try and kite away with that shield in the grand entrance.
Yeah, and actually that battle dance is able to get that shield off on 2 separate occasions, so it's pretty nice to have if you're an AD carry.
Ooh, Rutledge is actually going to take a lot of damage here as the Wade does get the knockup. Going to deal quite a bit of damage back. The way going fairly low there. Knight wants to go in again on the bottom side. Is going to throw up the shield. Jester Time does go in with the grand entrance, but just dashes away afterwards. Content for those short, quick trades and avoiding the concussive blows there. So Conquer doing a good job of absorbing the early aggression from the Aether Esports bottom lane.
Yeah, and if they can avoid that early damage, they do, as mentioned, have a very, very strong team fight. So if they can get out of this early game without giving up too much and keep it pretty even, and actually they have a very, very slight gold lead now, only about 100 to 200, 150, we'll say, just to even it out. But if they can come out even or only slightly behind, they're going to be in a really, really good spot going into team fights.
Definitely a solid start for the side of Conqueror Gaming, as they really have CS leads kind of across the board there outside of Sparky, who's essentially even there with Phantom in the bottom side. Rutledge wants to go in here. He's going to get the Test of Spirit landed there. I love the fact that it only shows the clan tag there when Dewey's soul gets pulled out. I don't know if that's a bug or not, but...
Very possibly a bug.
Like you aren't even
sure what they...
You're just a shell of
decided it was
yourself.
supposed to. I think the best part about that name is like he changed that like that went with that meme way back in like February, back in like January, February, whatever it was. Yeah, I do know the way, but it was like this the season 2 was supposed to start. It started back in January, so it was like immediately as season 2 was starting, it was like I don't know him as anything different, but it's just like the second like that season 2 started, it was like the way was just instantly there. I was like, all right,
super fresh meme.
He's all over this, man.
I love it. All right. Well, as we do hit about that 7:30 mark, we can kind of take stock of what we've seen so far here in the laning phase. As we mentioned, CS totals look to be up, at least for the side of Conquer Gaming so far, have built 200 gold lead, essentially negligible at this point in the game. It could mean, you know, maybe a control ward or two over Aether Esports. Law was sitting down in that bottom brush, but it's going to get spotted by the control ward in try, so Conquer can just play safe and avoid the Master Yi as of now. And Dewey and Rutledge trading again on the top side, and the Ornn continuing to lose these trades. Ooh, that's going to be the ultimate. This could be big trouble. The Ornn dashes away. It's going to get jumped on. No, and the tentacle will lock it down. First blood to Rutledge.
Great knowledge of your damage output there from Rutledge, as he actually landed a really, really solid Test of Spirit. And follow that up with a leap of faith to get the 2 tentacles. The spirit he pulls out of someone counts as a person, so he gets the extra tentacle out on his ultimate, does the extra damage, burns out the flash, and does actually follow up with the flash of his own to secure that kill. But great job following up with that and basically sticking to a decision, making a decision and sticking to it. How about that? That's how I should word that.
Yeah, and after that kill, that does mean that DeWay decides to teleport back to the top side, so that will mean a teleport advantage for the side of Conqueror Gaming here in a couple of minutes once that TP is back up for the Alawi. They also have Phoenix with the teleport that hasn't been used yet, so definitely global pressure advantage for the side of Conqueror Gaming here. And we take stock of those CS leads. In a couple of seconds here, it's going to be about a 20 CS lead for the Alawi. Sparky is trying to get away here. That's going to be the Glacial Fissure from Knight, but just in time forced to flash in and use the ultimate to delay that engage. Phantom's pretty low. He's got to get out of here. That's going to be the heal forced out of the illusion as Sparky in just in time able to turn that aggression around on the Aether Esports bottom lane.
Yeah, that was actually... It looked a little bit rough there for the side of Conqueror in the bot lane. But actually a really, really solid quickness there out of Jester. And
they're going to try and get the collapse here. The East here. Sparky, he does blink over the wall. Excuse me, SVU is going to force out the flash, though, with his ultimate. And now they're going to try and chase down either Esports. SVU is going to get collapsed on flashes over the wall and use his barrier. Lag not being very nice to me right now, but SVU is able to escape from that as Phantom and Knight able to assist him to get out of that. Phoenix want to go aggressive onto the Orianna. Ooh, Law could get collapsed on here in the River. Gimpy wants to go for him. Does have the Glacial Prison available, but either Esports is going to back up their jungler, so Conqueror will think twice and just back off. Esports maybe wants to push in for this Drake right now. Looks like Conqueror is retreating, but they did grab that Scuttle Crab, and that means they will have vision of any sort of Dragon Start here by Aether, and they'll just back away, not wanting to get spotted out right now. This is where it will land on DeWay again on the top side as Rutledge just continues to punish that Ornn in the top lane. Now a 30 CS lead here on the Alawi.
And actually, this is pretty interesting. He's actually leveling up that Tentacle Smash instead of the Test of Spirit. A little bit of an interesting decision from him because actually, like, you can do a ton of damage with that Test of Spirit by leveling it up first. What it does when you level that up is it'll do extra damage from the damage you do to that soul that you pull out of someone. So essentially, it starts at like 20% or something like that, and going all the way up to 80% of the damage you do to that soul is done to that champion as well once you get to max rank. So a lot of people like to level that up, and people back away from it. Sometimes they don't go out of the circle. You can just keep attacking that soul and do essentially almost the exact same amount of damage you'd be doing to them anyways.
Sparky wants to get push going on the bottom side as he did use his ultimate to get some damage onto the wave. Might want to get a back here, but they're going to get the dive on the top side. Call wants to kill the way is going to activate the call. The Forge Gun. Can he get the knockup? Ooh, that's going to be the double knockup, followed up by the charge. He is going to go down. Can he secure the kill? Looks like Gimpy will go down, so that's a 1-for-1 trade. But oh man, the tentacles coming out and the slap, the allowing.
Wow! Oh my god, that damage!
Woo! That is a big tentacle lady up on the top side, as Law did not respect the damage from the allowing and the double tilt return already sitting in that black cleaver. Ooh,
I guess that's why you go Conqueror.
Yeah, I guess. Oh my goodness. It's like Law was gonna chase him down. Was like, oh man, I may be able to get some damage here, and all of a sudden, two tentacles just slap him, and his health bar disappears.
It was actually, I think, Rutledge is practicing some sort of a magic act up in that top lane, absolutely making Law vanish there in an instant.
Talk about deleted.
Now, on the other hand, we see in the mid lane has been a very, very passive lane so far, but we see Phoenix starting to build up a bit of a CS lead for himself, about 15 right now.
There's that double large rod too on the Vladimir.
Yeah,
also has his Predator boots as well.
Yeah, that's actually, we didn't really make much note of that. He's actually going the Faker build. Or maybe not the full build, but he does have the Predator, the Faker Predator. Koreans always know what they're talking about, right?
Sure.
Sure. Man.
One
But
thing
there,
to note here as well, though. Also, a result, Rutledge gets the double kill on the top side, also secures solo first tower gold for himself. So that has translated now into, about a 2,200 gold lead just in the top lane alone.
yeah, and
for the
3
side of
kills to
Conqueror.
1. 3 kills to 1, and that 1 kill did come from the fact that the tower dove there. So he got the 1 kill on Gimpy, but at the end of the day, that's 3 kills plus. You're looking at a 55-ish CS advantage here onto Rutledge in the top lane. So I hardly think that 1 kill evens it up. A little bit of a rough lane here for DeWay. Let's see if he can do anything when teamfights start happening. That Call of the Forge God can certainly open up teamfights pretty well. So we'll see how he manages to use that when those teamfights start to happen. But I still just love Conqueror Gaming's teamfight.
Yeah, gonna be interesting to see how these team fights play out. We were curious about that first pick, Alawi, but Conqueror very confident in their top laner's ability to make plays happen on that champion, and it has certainly proven true so far in this game. But Law is going to get caught out by the Prison, and that is going to be a kill there for Phoenix, the 4th kill for Conqueror in this game. The first one not for Rutledge there, and Law just gets caught with his pants down in the jungle and goes down to the Vladimir. Looks
Yeah,
like
maybe
maybe translate this into the Rift.
Maybe a bit overkill they're going with the Hemoplague.
Aggression on the bot side. Sparky is going to get caught stunned by the concussive blows, but almost hasn't lost any health yet. There's going to be the ultimate from Phantom, but good exhaust there from Jester will save his 80 carries life as DeWay is again losing a trade on the top side. So Conqueror does spend a few summoner spells, but able to absorb the aggression from Aether Esports, and Sparky survives that long fight, or that long 2v2 trade there, with still 2/3 of his health intact. So
Yeah, and that's largely because Jester's actually played this pick quite strong here. He's landed some really, really solid quicknesses, as well as just in general good knockups from his grand entrance.
yeah, one thing to note, you mentioned the Battle Dancer. 2 separate shields to whoever the Rakan dashes to. Also taking the Guardian there is just an extra shield he's able to give to his carry, and it just means that Sparky has been so safe this game. The Ocean Drake is going to go over to Aether Esports here as kind of catching Conqueror backing, and does mean they are able to secure that first neutral objective of this game, but or I should say second, as actually the Rift Herald was grabbed by Gimpy. But still, a good kind of consolation prize there for Aether Esports. Will give them some more sustain in these lanes as they look to get back into this game down about 4,500 gold at just over 16 minutes.
Yeah, they did manage to get at least something out of a relatively rough early game for them. But, and actually, I barely even said it, and I feel like I just said it not long ago, but we went from about a 50 CS lead in the top lane to 70 now. Really great job from Rutledge to just continually bully the way out of basically any CS at all.
So something I want to note here for 80 carry builds, something that's been extremely popular for Ezreal's as of late has been the double tier build. Does give the Ezreal a little more of a mid-game slump while he's stacking up that second tier, but does give him a lot stronger of a late game. And with Phantom at 1 item, as we are going to see a fight here on the top, the Shockwave is going to lock down a couple of members of Conqueror. Aether is trying to retreat. They are going to escape without losing any members, but they could lose a tower. Phoenix actually may want to go in here, does force the heal out of Phoenix, and the Rift Herald is going to get dropped on the bottom side. Sparky needs a tower shot. This is going to be the tower going down. Aether Esports wants to protect this, but this could be very risky. If he wants to go in, they're going to catch out Knight. He's going to take a lot of damage. Here comes Law trying to get into the back on this, but she's pretty low. Sparky trying to get away. Phoenix is going low. That's Law going to be able to grab a kill on Vladimir. Does get the heal. There's the Alpha Strike going after Jester of Time, but that's going to be the kill in return. Jester able to actually not able to escape, does take down Law. Sparky trying to escape here. SVU wants to chase him down. Will they land the Winter's Bite? No, it doesn't look like it. Sparky will escape, but the Alawi on the top side able to grab that tier 2 in response. So I'd say Conqueror, despite dropping a couple of kills, able to win out overall with the map pressure.
Yeah, I completely agree. Solid fight there from Aether, but they gave up a lot in that top lane. That second tower dropped, and they really didn't get any global pressure in return. In fact, they lost bot tower at the beginning of that fight as well. So unfortunate for them there, as we have an almost 90 CS lead, actually about 90 CS lead in the top lane for Rutledge. Absolutely great performance from him so far up there.
And I want to continue my point there on the 80 carries. The teams rudely interrupted me with a team fight in the bottom lane.
Yeah, how rude! Stop fighting!
But with
Stop
that
excitement.
that kind of mid-game trough that Sparky could hit if he does go the double tier build, we haven't seen any confirmation on that yet. Only just completed his boots, so we'll have to see. But Phantom and on the Lucian could really take advantage of that, especially considering that he essentially went even in the bottom lane. So this Lucian could really do a lot of work in these mid-game fights while Sparky is still scaling up if he does go that double tier build. Now, if he goes for more of a mid-game build, goes for like a Bork or something in that line next, could mitigate a little bit of that advantage, but does sacrifice that late game power. So we'll have to see what Sparky wants to go here. But the double tier build has definitely been the kind of flavor of the month on Ezreal, as Conqueror is trying to get the push going here in the mid lane, but solid wave clear from Aether means that their tier 1 is going to be pretty safe unless a team fight breaks out.
Yeah, and actually they may decide that the team as a whole is far enough ahead to where Sparky may not need to go double tier. A lot of damage there.
Yeah.
A lot of damage there.
That.
SPU.
The one thing to note, though, for Conqueror is they have just, they're buying a lot of time here in the mid lane, keeping Aether there, and just allowing their strong member in Rutledge's Alawi to just get the push going on the bottom side. He's looking to pressure another tier 2, and given how strong he is, Aether Esports has to send 2 people down there to deal with the Alawi, and that means that Conqueror can, get some other things done on the map. They're just buying time, letting the Alawi do what she does with that 4-0 lead, with that already flame horizon over Dewey, man, sitting at 213 CS. That is a big Alawi now on 2 and essentially 2.5 items.
Yeah, and you mentioned they're sending 2 people down there, but that almost helps Alawi at times. Like her ult is up, Leap of Faith. Basically, it grabs an extra tentacle for each champion that she hits with it. So if she was able to land a Test of Spirit and ult onto 2 people, that's 3 tentacles. She gets health back for each one that lands, plus the additional damage that they do. It almost gets to a point where it just benefits her to send another person down there. But at the same time, it obviously hurts to send less people down there because she's just going to bully whoever they send. So it's kind of a double-edged sword.
So far, the strategy has been Phantom down there solo, at least for the last minute or so, clearing out the waves, just sitting under tower, and has been able to at least keep the Alawi at bay for the last minute or so. Aether Esports were able to get the push going in the mid lane and force out the teleport from Phoenix. Rutledge is about up, though, and they're going to have to be very careful of that, as that Alawi can show up in any of these fights and have a big effect on them, so they're going to have to be very wary of where Rutledge is on the map. Keep track of him, but kind of a stalemate here as both teams just kind of posturing, trying to protect towers right now, and nothing really going. Neutral objectives are live, though. Baron is up, so is the Mountain Drake, so those could be where we see possibly our next fight of the game, as we see both of these teams kind of try and break this one open. As we do take stock of the gold, 6,500 gold lead for the side of Conqueror at this point, and Rutledge really starting to wear on that tower, that tier 2 now at about 25% health, as Phantom not able to do enough to save that tower. Could go down here very soon. Conqueror will clear out some vision. Looks like they're going to go for this Mountain Drake. Are they going to get this for free, or could we be able to force out a fight? Rutledge is going to move his way up here. Looks like Aether Esports wants to challenge this. This could be risky. Rutledge is trying to zone the team. Will miss the Test of Spirit. Do they go in for this? Here comes the Vladimir. There's the ult coming in from Jester. Does get the grand entrance on the 2. Knight is going to go fairly low. Good shockwave is going to grab Jester and Rutledge. And there's the Glacial Prison. Is going to knock up hit the Orb, but this is Aether Esports running for their lives. Conquer, that's the double kill for Sparky. They trade down Rutledge, but that's going to be the ace for Conqueror, and they're going to be able to grab some towers. They're looking for the tier 2 on the bot side, as well as tier 1 in mid lane. They've got a big wave crashing into the inhibitor tower on the top side, and what a well-timed fight there by Conqueror Gaming.
Yeah, and actually, noticing that Rutledge is so far ahead, they actually did manage to take him out in that fight, but at what cost? They've lost their whole team. They're going to lose 3 towers here. And they lost a dragon. Just a bit of a risky fight over a dragon that, realistically, they, barring a miracle steal out of Law, didn't have much of a chance at.
Yeah, they also lose about 2/3 of the health on their top lane inhibitor tower with just minions pushing up there. So just a great play there by Conqueror, recognizing how strong they were, and basically telling Aether Esports, hey, we're gonna either take this Drake or you're gonna come and fight us and we're gonna kill you. So good play there by Conqueror Gaming as they continue to build on this lead, now 10,500 gold ahead.
Yeah, and actually, Law taking that blue buff away here. SVU not having a very bad game, but Law perhaps deciding, I'm a little bit behind. I kind of need this to get me back into the game.
I can feel mid laners just cringing everywhere.
I know, right?
How dare you take my blue buff? All the
The
Zed mains are like,
rage.
what? What's wrong with that?
The solo queue rage. Alright, so we have double buffs on Law here. Unfortunately, the Z pick has not quite panned out for him, but he does have that Gensu's finished right now. A decent item on Master Yi. I mean, a good item on Master Yi, but decent considering that they're behind as much as they are at this point. About 10,000 gold right now. Pushing 10,500. So, actually, I feel like Conqueror could probably just get good vision control. You still have your teleport on Rutledge.
Rutledge with a little dance spam there in the bot lane. BM wins games, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know. That's the principle that I follow.
BM is the best form of... No, it's actually irritating. Wait.
That's why it's called bad manners, BM, dude.
It's actually irritating. Imagine that.
That's the point. Well, Conqueror starting to try and set up for this Baron. We're at over 26 minutes, and with their lead, they should be able to take that fairly quickly. Going to clear out some vision and move their way up here. They still have Rutledge in the bottom side to create cross-map pressure. They're going to set up a little bit of a death brush here and see if they can maybe catch out Aether Esports sticking their noses out a little too far. They're going to go and invade into the red side, and looks like Aether Esports is in full retreat. Vlad wants to try and chase them down, but not quick enough. They will just back away. But Rutledge, again, putting pressure on the bottom side. DeWay cannot deal with this Alawi. It's going to mean an inhibitor tower taken solo there for Rutledge. Is going to force DeWay away.
And he's throwing people down there. They're going for Baron.
Oh, this is big trouble. Rutledge may go down here, but it's going to be totally where it does flash away.
He has
does
ult. I don't know if he does.
Activates the ultimate. That's going to be damage on it. Baby, it actually
He got the kill!
Just with the test of Spirit. DeWay taking a lot of damage here as well. The tentacles just firing away. DeWay able to survive, and Law gets the kill, but still.
What
Rutledge
is
did his
Alawi?
job.
What is Alawi?
I don't know, but took the tower, able to allow his team to grab the Baron. So Baron onto 4 members, and Conqueror Gaming securely in the lead, in control of this game, and looking to possibly finish it off with this Baron buff. I would imagine they'll wait for the Alawi to come up. Her ultimate already over halfway off of cooldown, so by the time Rutledge is up, should be ready and raring to fight to possibly finish this game. Aether Esports just trying to grab any scraps of farm that they can grab, get as much gold into their pockets to try and just buy time and survive. But they're going to need a hell of a team fight to get back into this game, and multiple mistakes from Conqueror will be necessary, as well as they are just so strong right now and have that Baron buff to assist them in the push.
Yeah, and essentially that was a Rutledge 1v5 where he managed to trade 1 for 1, and the rest of the team picked up Baron.
And almost traded 1 for 2. I mean, DeWay was...
He did almost manage to pick up a second kill off the back of that. it's looking very, very rough for Aether right now. It's not to say that it's impossible for them to make a comeback, but a lot of things are going to have to go their way. And with Rutledge just continually pushing in this bot lane, I mean, it's the same thing I was getting at earlier.
Oh, Phoenix is going to go in and delete SBU as down he goes. Now I got to try and protect him with the Glacial Fissure, but the whole team is all into the back. Let's take down Knight. They're trying to escape, but that's the double kill for the Ezreal. Phoenix wants Phantom. Phantom able to keep them at a distance. Jester a little low there, but able to use the Redemption to heal himself up a little bit, but Conqueror wants this game. They're able to take down an inhibitor. They're looking for the Nexus Towers. Phantom putting up the best defense he can, but it's not going to be enough, and that's the Nexus gonna go down, and Conqueror Gaming able to grab an impressive victory to start off their season.
Yeah, absolutely impressive without a doubt, and I'm sorry for doubting them to begin with. And I shouldn't say I doubted them. I trusted their team fight, but man, just dominating during the lane phase as well. I expected them to have a little bit of a rough lane phase, but absolutely impressive performance in the team fights and lane phase as a whole. So you want to know how dominating of a victory that was for Conqueror Gaming? I've got one stat that'll tell you how dominant that was. Is it overall damage? Overall,
the entire team of Aether Esports did a whopping 0 damage to towers. Minions
I don't
were the
think
only
they did.
ones.
Oh, really?
They did 0 damage to turrets that entire game.
The team as
The
a
minions
whole,
were
I
the
got
only
you.
ones.
I was gonna say, I thought I saw a tower missing some help, but the minions. All
missing
right,
some
I got you. The
minions, yeah.
minions did that. Okay, I got you now.
The minions were the only ones that did damage to any of the Conqueror Gaming towers. 0 collective damage to towers in that entire game. That was such a dominant victory by Conqueror Gaming, putting their stamp on the start of this season and saying, we are here to dominate. And Aether Esports, a team that struggled, kind of sat near the bottom of the standings throughout Season 2 in the BSGCS. They're looking to kind of switch the narrative for their team, but definitely not the way they wanted to start things off. And we'll have to see if they can kind of flip the script here later this week and through the rest of the season, as they are looking to be a team to contend with here in the BSGCS.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you mentioned 3-4 times already, I think we've both mentioned it 3-4 times already. Just very, very convincing from Conqueror overall. I did not realize even like that Aether hadn't even really touched that tower themselves. But it was that dominant of a performance.
Yeah, impressive start there by Conqueror Gaming as they grab a dominant victory. And we can take a peek at the damage numbers here for both teams. Rutledge, rightfully so, topping the charts here, 19,500 on the Alawi. Very impressive as he just bullied everybody. Only had 2 deaths the entire game, 6, 2, and 5. And I mean, both of those deaths were honestly well worth it. We're able to secure big fights and big objectives for his team. So definitely well worth it there. PG Sparky had a very impressive game as well, 6-0-2 on the Ezreal, and was second in the game in damage at about 15,500 there, just ahead of the Vladimir. So great stuff across the board there from Conqueror. We can take a peek at the vision scores here. Let me just swap mine up. Good job by the Recon. Both supports doing a good job with their vision scores, both up over 45 there. I want to take a peek at the Control Wards purchase. Hopefully both of our supports bought them. Yes, they did. Not a lot bought by the side of Aether Esports, just a collective 6 Control Wards bought by the entire team, but not a ton by the side of Conqueror as well. Only hitting 29 minutes. It's not gonna really doesn't tend to spike too much until you hit that late game, and you're constantly moving those ones around objectives. But still good to see the supports grabbing those and putting them out onto the map. Big part of that game was the Recon getting those Control Wards out and the vision score. All right. We are just about ready to close out game number 2 here after Conqueror Gaming able to grab an impressive win over Aether Esports and start their season off with a bang. That is our second game of the night. We are going to head to a little break here before we finish off the night. Before we head to that, do want to remind everybody to, if you guys want to support us here at Duo Esports and the BSGCS, consider following and subscribing. Those buttons are at the top of your screen. Big thank you to everybody who's following us. Special thanks to anybody that has subscribed to us here. We appreciate all of your guys' support, so thank you so much. And we will be back momentarily with our final game of the night. Good afternoon, League fans, and welcome back to our third game of the day here as we kick off BSG Competitive Series, season number 3. I am your host and play-by-play caster, Yeso, and joining me for our last game of the day, we're going to sub Fridge out and bring in my good friend Naughty Green for the color commentary. Your first cast, so excited to share that with you. Welcome to the desk, and how are we feeling today?
Oh, thank you. We're feeling really good. I'm really excited to cast with you. My team and I just won a game, so I don't think it could feel better. I'm casting with with a really good caster, and I'm casting my ex-team, so I don't think this could be any better.
Well, thank you so much. Appreciate the kind words, and definitely excited to have you on here. Think it's going to be an absolute blast as we will be bringing you guys AOL Phoenix versus ESG Genesis for our final game of the day. Super excited to close this one out with a very interesting matchup here. AOL Phoenix looking like one of the stronger teams in the league, kind of with early predictions coming into the season, against ESG Genesis, a team that really struggled last season. We're kind of mired at the bottom of the standings throughout, looking to make the climb towards the top of the standings and be a team that can really challenge for a top spot in the league here in season 3. So looking for a fresh start there with their all-star top laner Fridge. But we are going to hit you guys with the roster rundown here as we get into Champion Select here in just a moment. On the blue side for this game will be AOL Phoenix with Sievert in the top lane, Sonic Cabs in the jungle, Blue Edit, I never can remember. In the mid lane, To Live is to Smile is their AD carry, and Nezumi at the support position.
And then on red side, we have ESG. We got Fridge in the top lane. We are going to have Unday Trick in the jungle, Aron Blade in the mid lane, Sivian on the ADC position, and King of Duo as support.
All right, well, we are into Champion Select here for game number 3 of the day. Waiting to see what the first bans are here. What the side of AOL wants to drop away, and it is going to be that Ezreal first ban. Already seen that once today. It was pretty darn effective there for Conqueror Gaming in game 2.
Well, Ezreal is really a good ban. He's one of the safest ADCs. We've seen during MSI, people go with TP instead of heal, which is a good strategy to just keep pushing the laners, get your lead extended with Kleptomancy. So it's a really good ban.
The Xin Zhao banned away here. Actually, the second time that we've seen this banned away today. Interesting. We did just see on this patch his E was nerfed. So a little weaker than he was recent patches, but still seems like teams either, banning away comfort picks or still feel like it is strong enough to deserve a ban. So that one won't be going to Sonic Cabs there. And AOL with their second ban is going to be the Orianna, taking one away there from Aron Blade.
Yeah,
Pretty
this has
solid.
to be this has to be a target ban. I don't think Orianna is a powerhouse right now. But in BSG, sometimes powerhouses are people tend to go away from that and just go on comfort picks.
Yeah, and the one good thing that you do have about Orianna, not necessarily making her ban worthy all the time, still kind of always a solid pick. While she's never really overpowered, she's always able to provide good crowd control, fairly good wave clear and safe landing phase, and fits into a lot of different compositions. So definitely a kind of stalwart there in the mid lane as the Mundo will be the last ban in the first phase by AOL, taking away that pretty strong tank in the top and jungle. The Trundle and the Kai'Sa, the last 2 bans for ESG. Kai'Sa still a very, very strong scaling AD carry, can be a monster in the late game. Not going to let To Live is to Smile grab that one. So we'll have to see what the first pick here is for AOL. What do they prize with this first selection?
Kai'Sa and Ezreal are both ADCs that weren't really touched by the nerfs or the buffs on this patch. So really good bans, in my opinion.
The Vladimir is going to be the first pick here. On the side of AOL, solid flex pick, can go mid or top. So not revealing anything crazy there to start. Definitely a solid selection there by AOL to start off the draft here. We'll have to see what ESG wants to respond with. Fridge, a very impressive top laner for ESG in Season 2. We'll have to see if they want to put him on a carry or relegate him to tank play, but they are going to grab the Jhin to start. So starting to build that bottom lane duo with that 80 carry selection.
Yeah, that's exactly what I've done here. Pick my bot lane, pick a really strong bot lane, just to make sure that at least one part of the map, like you don't know where Vlad is going, but you know where, like you know that Jhin is gonna be a really good laner. So I really love the pick, and with Jax too, I really like it. Really strong early game jungler. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna see little plays around the Rift Scuttler.
Yeah, now we'll have to see how AOL responds here. Going to get their last 2 picks of the first pick phase here.
And this is, if they lock in Karma here, it's still a flex pick. It could go either mid or support. We've seen it mid at MSI, and people really liked it. When you put it with an hyper carry, it's just really good because she has a lot of scalings on her shield. She can really control the mid lane with her Q and empowered. She can have it like every 20 seconds, so it's really annoying for the enemy mid laner to farm on the turret.
All right, I love this strategy by AOL here. They get the 2 flex picks, and then they grab their 80 carry, meaning that they have not revealed really anything outside of their 80 carry picks so far. Is going to make the ban phase for ESG here the second time around very difficult, and just gives AOL so much flexibility to move those picks around based on this second ban phase and the first pick by ESG there. So AOL really set up to build kind of the exact composition that they want based on the ban phases here. The Braum is going to be locked in there for ESG, so they have completed that bottom lane duo there with the Jhin and Braum. Going to be fairly safe there into the Tristana.
Yeah,
to see what they want to ban here.
I would ban junglers. It's the only thing you don't know yet. It might be top, it might be mid. So that is a target ban to Sievert, which Sievert played a lot in the past seasons of BSG.
All right, the LeBlanc band away there. Looks like AOL wants to focus those solo lanes, as those are the only things left available. We'll have to see if they throw 2 bans at Aron Blade. They already banned away his Orianna as well. So it really could force him down in his champion pool, especially with the 2 mid lane bans comboed with 2 essentially mid lane picks. A fourth here, yeah, that's going to be the Zed. So Aron Blade could be really forced down the tier list of mid laners right now. We're going to have to see what ESG wants to pick here first. Again, we're looking for a top laner and a mid laner. What do they want to grab first, and who do they want to save for the counter pick?
I would really like to see a top laner pick now. Yeah, exactly. And the Singe really gonna get the split push going. I really like this pick. Their team comp just really screams team fights at the moment. They really want that Karma buffing up Tristana, that Vlad flanking from a side. So I really like the Singe going and split push in the 1-3-1.
I also like the fact that this is kind of a solid middle ground for pick for Fridge, right? He's a great top laner who can absorb a lot of pressure. And while you do kind of want something a little tankier, maybe with a little more frontline, Singe can fill that role, but also is something that can draw a lot of pressure on the map through his ability to clear waves, to get the push going in the split push. So kind of a solid middle ground there for ESG to keep Fridge kind of playing to his strengths. The J4 and the Twisted Fate here are the final picks. So that will kind of reveal what AOL is doing. That means the Karma will go to the bottom lane, and Sievert will get that Vladimir up top as they finish that composition. And the last pick will, in fact, be the Morgana here. So that's going to be a mid lane Morgana there for Aron Blade into this Twisted Fate.
Wow. Actually, I kind of like both comps, but I feel like AOL won that champ select pretty hard. I'm not really a fan of mid Morgana. I think she used to be strong a while ago, and she's good into certain matchups. she's good at setting ganks post 6, which is not that bad because their team kind of lacked reliable CC. But I really like AOL team comp now. I think they fixed the 1-3-1 with the TF pick. I think he can really split push against the power of Singe. So I really like their team comp.
One thing I definitely want to note for ESG, they have a very strong level 1. You've got the Braum and the Morgana. Lots of pick potential there between the Dark Binding and the Winter's Bite into the Concussive Blows. So ESG could certainly look for some spiciness here to start this game off and possibly catch out AOL and maybe get an early kill to start building on a lead.
Oh yeah, I would really love to see ESG invade here. Their level 1 is really strong. Their early game is really strong compared to AOL. If ESG really wants to win, they really need to win it early. If they go past 32 minutes where Tristana has maybe 3 or 4 items, I think this game's in the bag for AOL. I don't really see anything killing Tristana at the moment. I feel like Jax is not gonna. Well, it depends on how he builds. But if he builds it the Korean way, I'm not sure he's gonna be able to kill Tristana. Singe can be rooted. He can be stunned by TF. He can be knocked up. Jarvan's really good at keeping Singe away from his ADC. So I don't see how in team fights they're gonna get to Tristana if To Live is to Smile really positions himself really well.
Yeah, he could certainly be set up to carry this game. Gonna have the Vladimir and the J4 just trying to run at the ESG backline. Could mean that they absorb a lot of the attention and the pressure in those fights, and could set the Tristana up paired with the Karma to just fire away in these team fights. We'll have to see how that plays out. Lot certainly can rely on this early game, and I definitely agree with you. Want to see ESG play a little aggressive here to start off this game and try and get themselves an early lead. I also, as we talked about earlier, want to see Fridge, absorbing pressure on top, drawing attention to the Singe and allowing the rest of his team to maybe free farm a little more, put some pressure on the other side of the map. But that Singe could go a long way to setting up ESG for success. Do want to do a little shout out here to Green Boys on subscribing 2 months in a row for the tier 1 sub. So thanks so much, Green Boys, for the support. Anybody else that does want to support us here, please consider following and subscribing. Those buttons are at the top of your screen. You can also consider donating. That link will be down in the description of the Twitch channel. Just click on that big old donate button. So thank you so much to Green Boys and everybody else, all of our subscribers, for your support as we prep to get into our final game of the day, closing out the opening of the BSG competitive series season number 3.
Yeah, if BSG has come far. We used to have 6 or 5 teams in season 1, and now we're up to 14, and the teams look stronger than ever. I'm really excited to see how everything will turn out.
But should be a very exciting season. Lot of new teams, a lot of old guard coming back, and going to be some fun storylines to follow throughout the season, along with some great play, as we have already been able to see just in our opening day here as we load in for this game between AOL Phoenix and ESG Genesis.
Yeah, both teams were there for season 1, so it feels like the NHL classics, if I would say. The original
6. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
You're a French Canadian, right, Naughty Green?
Yep.
Are we where are we? Montreal?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
exactly.
Are you a Habs fan?
Of course. It's been sad. It's been sad recently.
You guys need to fire what's his name?
Mark.
Bergevin. Yeah, Mark
Yeah.
Bergevin. Jeez, he is I sympathize for you, man. I'm a Ducks fan. It's not been easy.
Yeah. Yeah. we're gonna see new keystones here. Tristana went with the I think it's called Hail of Blade.
Yep, Hail of Blades.
Yeah, it's similar to a lethal tempo, is it right?
I believe so. It's like your first 3 attacks, proc bonus attack speed.
Yeah, exactly. I think
I should have read the patch notes a little more intently. Other thing I do want to note before we get into the game here, we have peaked, I think, tonight at 60 concurrent viewers, which is the most that we've ever done here at the BSGCS here, just this kickoff season 3. So that means if that's where we're starting, I can't wait to see where we go throughout the rest of the season. So thanks to everybody so much for tuning in, for all of your guys' continued support. Hope to bring you some awesome League of Legends action throughout this series, but we are on to the Rift here for our last game of the day. AOL Phoenix against ESG Genesis, as we see these 2 old guard teams duke it out to kick off the season.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see that. We're gonna be seeing Unsealed Spellbook Vlad, which is really good, in my opinion. I've seen Predator's Vlad recently, but I feel like Unsealed Spellbook was really the way to go. And Sivian, with nerfs to footwork, opted to go with Comet, which has really gone well. It will help his laning phase, but I feel like footwork would have been pretty good because they're not gonna be able to poke that much with Drum, Jin. I feel like Karma's going to be able to neglect all that damage, and we're seeing a fight.
Yeah, good job so far. ESG does go for the early aggression here, but AOL respecting the early pressure there and backing away, although Nezumi does get caught there by the Dark Binding, able to avoid the Winner's Bite and should be able to escape here without using a Summoner spell, but AOL at least recognizing this early pressure, although they are going to catch out to
That
well. They're going to go in. They're going to get the stun with the Winner's Bite and City able to grab first blood there on the Jin. And as soon as I compliment them, oh, here comes the rest of AOL. They want to get the collapse. King of Dua is going to grab a kill on the Sonic Caps. The Ignite on a King of Dua, but he flashes over the wall. Sivian could go down here. Flashes away as the cards from Blue Edit come out. Ooh, Hundy Trick wants to go back in. Does get the stun with the Counter-Strike. There's the Dark Binding. They want to go back in, but Sivian's pretty low. Aura Blade's going to go down, and that's the turnaround. 1 kill going to go back over to AOL, but still 2-1. Ooh, there's the Inner Flame, and Seaver gets the kill there. Now, King of Duo is going to get caught out here in the jungle to and that's the full turnaround by AOL. A clown fiesta here at level 1 as we've got 5 kills before we hit the 2-minute mark.
What was that? Wow. Really excited early game. I really wanted to see ESG invade. They did. They got 2 kills, and then AOL just turned the tide. They really went on together, and I don't know who's their shot caller, but it took balls to just say, let's go, they're low, and we have, maybe 8 summoners done now. They're down at 224. That's promising. I really would like to see the junglers gank now with a lot of flashes down.
I want to see everybody spamming those dumpster fire emotes in chat, all you subscribers out there, because that's kind of what that level 1 was. You should rarely have 5 kills going into laning phase, but that's what we do have here. The kill split here is 1 over to Sievert, 1 to Blue Edit, and 1 to Livis to Smile for the side of AOL. And for ESG, 1 kill to each of the bottom laners in Sivian and King of Duo. Fridge getting the early push here against Sievert and use that poison to try and clear out that way, but he's fairly low on mana. Does have that Dark Seal comboed with his refillable potion, does give him a little bit more sustain, and he wants to go in a little bit for a trade here, but Sievert gonna get some good damage back. Hundy is going on to the Scuttle Crab, but is gonna get caught here by Sonic Cabs. Could they go for the pressure? The Smite is gonna give some health back to Hundy Trick, but Blue Edit is here to help Sonic Cabs out, and that will mean that Hundy Trick and Arm Blade just back away, not wanting any further aggression.
Yeah, like we expected, there was a little skirmish around the Risk Cutler. I think mid laners and junglers have to be on the same pace with this new this new Scuttle meta. As we've seen, Morgana pushed before Blue Edit did, so Jack's at the advantage. So It's not a tough loss, but I feel like it's good now. I feel like Rift Sculptor has been getting a lot of hype recently, but if you check the stats, it doesn't feel that bad losing it.
It feels like it's more effective in the early game when you can get that kind of early experience boost, but the effectiveness or the necessity to grab it kind of wears off outside of the vision control as the game goes on.
Yeah, I agree. I thought I would see a bigger CS difference in the bot lane, but I feel like Sivian are really making the best of a tough lane here.
Yeah, Iron Blade with a good black shield to avoid the flag and drag there from Sonic Caps, as he does make his presence known in the mid lane here early. Fridge going in for a good trade into Sievert is actually going to win that one pretty handily as Poison burns Sievert down below 150 health. We'll get to sustain some of that back with his Q, but Fridge doing a good job here in the early laning phase, abusing that power with his Poison.
Yeah, even Vlad with 3 stacks on his ring there, he really outtrades him. So, but I mean, it's Vlad, so he's gonna be able to catch up with his built-in sustain. But I feel like Fridge is really having the edge here. And we have a first Luden Zeko, not Luden Zeko, but either Wisp on Morgana. So I'm really excited to see on whether she's going for a what does it build again? I forgot. It goes for quite.
You got it. I believe in you.
I don't play mid lane. The only Aider Wisp item I know is Ardent Sensor, right? But I don't know. They fixed. They changed it a couple patches ago, and I didn't really follow up. Please help me there. Lichbane on Morgana. Let's go. I really want to see it.
Shout out to Warhood with the assist there. Thank you, thank you sir. We do have a pause here, just over the 6-minute mark. Yeah, it looks like we do have a keyboard issue here for one of the players on AOL. So we're going to get that resolved here fairly quickly, hopefully, and get right back into the game. We do see Hundy Trick looking to possibly get something going down here on the bottom side. But we'll have to see if we can get that going.
It's going to be a tough lane to gank, with Karma shields and speed ups. Tristana can jump away. There's nothing really that Braum or Jin can really do from to just make sure that Tristana doesn't get away. So I'm really wondering. Well, I mean, if you look at his jungle, there's nothing to farm. So I pray maybe he's gonna be putting down a pink ward. He's got 2 in his inventories now. So I'm really looking forward to what they're gonna be able to do. And then the other side, I really think Sonic Abs should be leaving mid alone for maybe a bit before they get 6, because that shield is just gonna pop every time. Jarvan EQ combo is really easy to shield just because you see him coming from far away. The only way I think he would be able to do it is an EQ flash.
All right, well, we do have the ready checks, and we are unpaused and back into this game. So thank you to both teams for getting that resolved quickly and getting us right back into this matchup. Things have certainly quieted down since the level 1. We haven't had any kills since prior to the 2-minute mark. All of a sudden, this game's so boring. Oh, but that's not going to be boring. Sievert uses the Ignite, and the ultimate is going to burn him down. That's the kill for Sievert as he's able to take down Fridge with that aggressive flash ultimate. Nezumi is going to get caught there by the deadly flourish, and it's a good trade there for the ESG bottom lane, but Sonic Cabs is back to the mid lane. Yup, it is down. That's going to be the knockup. Armblade forced the flash away. His jungler is here, though, to help out. That's going to be the root. Morgana's actually going to survive, and down goes Sonic Cabs. Blue Edit is trying to run away, and Hundy is here. That's going to be the yellow card on the Jax, but he's going to be able to get away. The sustain for Aron Blade through his passive, just enough to survive. Airy. Ooh, that was very risky for Aron Blade, but able to get the kill there and survive so close there for the ESG mid laner.
Wow, that was really played from both teams there. Sonic Abs really got the shield CD. He went in, but unfortunately, Morgana, with this built-in sustain, it really took everything, every tick of damage to make sure that Morgana survived. Oh, we're gonna see Fridge going in.
Yeah, gonna get some good damage there onto Siebert. Not too much follow-up, though, and we'll just back away, consent to do that little trade.
It's gonna be really rough now to trade with Vlad with his 5 stacks now on his blade and his ring. It's gonna be a tough time for Fridge. He only needs to maybe. I would love to see the old proxy Singe now. We just farm between turrets. I would love to see that because I think it's gonna be really rough for him to trade with Vlad now. But I really love what he's doing. He's been pushing the entire game, going to put wards in the enemy jungle. So now they spot Jarvan. So bot lane can play pretty safe now. So really good by Fridge. Even though he's losing his lane now, it's really good teamwork from him. But sometimes you don't have to win lane. To every support, every champion has its job to do, and I feel like Fridge is still gonna be able to do it pretty well, even though he's gonna be falling from behind. He's gonna be falling behind quite a bit. We're gonna see the Rod of Ages on Twisted Fate, which is a standard build. I would say it's been the standard build from ages for Twisted Fate. We might see a Lich Bane coming from him after. Oh. Well, it's just gonna get tougher and tougher for that little poor Fridge. Well,
Yeah.
please bring the proxy now. I don't want to see a Vlad getting another kill on Singe now. It feels so sad every time. He just runs and the ticks get him.
Ooh, Sonic Cabs is down to the bottom side. We could see some aggression. King of Dua is able to get just out of range of the snare, but does take a lot of damage from To Live is to Smile there. On that, Tristana starting to scale up, has hit level 6, has that BF sword, so starting to do quite a bit of damage here, especially with that satchel charge. So, or explosive charge, I should say.
The gold difference is now at 900 gold, but when you check at the gold, the only goldie they have, it's on the Vladimir. Everyone on
Nizumi could be in big trouble. Does flash away there from the prison. King of Dua trying to get away, but he is. Sonic Cabs able to grab the kill. The bomb is going to go off and take down City, and so that's 2 kills as the bottom lane drops for ESG. Blue Edit trying to get away from Aron Blade here, and pretty safe as he's able to back away under his tower. Does get caught there by the Dark Binding. No further follow-up from the Morgana means the EF is pretty safe. So good early lead here for the side of AOL Phoenix as they get that couple of kills on the bottom side, and they're going to turn that into an Ocean Drake here at 11 minutes.
Yeah, well, I feel like Sonic Abs at the advantage on Hyundai Trick now. Hyundai Trick always
wants to go for the contest and actually gets the smite steal. That's huge. Also going to turn it into a kill as To Live is to Smile goes down to the Jax. Pretty strong right now. Here comes King of Duo. Wants to go in here. Doesn't have the Glacial Fissure. And that Monster Inner Flame, man, doing a lot of damage there. But Blue Edit has to use the cleanse. The ultimate from the Jhin is actually going to miss. And that means that won't be any more kills for the side of ESG Genesis. Good job by Hyundai Trick, able to get in, get the kill, and the steal on the Drake. So, yeah, she's going to actually feel pretty darn good about that play.
Wow. Well, as I was saying, Sonic Abs at the advantage on ganking ESG. Hyundai Trick just comes in and steals Dragon out of nowhere. Just had a good effort from To Live is to Smile to just knock him away, but he still gets it. So they get a couple kills back. So I feel like it's
Fringe wants to go in for Blue Edit, does force out the flash, but able to toss him back. Gonna go very low to Aron Blade is the poison enough. That will be a 1-for-1 trade as Fringe trades his life for Blue Edit there. Or
Wow.
blue did. I don't know. Someone needs to tell me.
Blue
Aron
did.
Blade, though, getting dove by Seavert here. Does use the pool. He is going to be able to take him down, but Honey Trick is here to try and trade. The ultimate is activated by Seavert. He's got the sustain. This could be big trouble, but that's going to be the Counter-Strike sustain. There's the heal from the ultimate, but it's not enough as the shutdown comes through for Honey Trick, taking down Seavert.
Wow. Hunter Trick has a lot of practice on Jax. I feel like his mechanical skills have been on point from the beginning of the game. So I feel like with the 2 kills under his belt, he might have a chance to carry ESG out of this early mid game. He's actually gonna go Triforce first before his jungle item. He has to do it, or else ESG is gonna have a bad time. We just seen what Vlad could do. Just dove Morgana on their turret 13 minutes in with just proto build. So if ESG has a shot, it's real on Hyundai Strict shoulders.
So do you want to take note of something? We do have one of the new items built here. To Live It to Smile has rushed the Storm Razor, which gives you 70 attack damage, 30% attack speed, has a unique passive. If you haven't attacked in the last 2.08 seconds, you gain Storm's Edge, and what Storm's Edge is your next basic attack critically strikes for 160% damage and grants 10% move speed for 1.75 seconds. So that is one of the new items. We'll have to see how that works out on the Tristana. This Fridge just running away from Sievert's Vladimir. Pretty strong right now. 4-1-1. That is a big Vladimir at this point in the game.
I thought we were gonna see that same item on Jin too. I felt like this item screamed Jin, but Sivian opted to go. I think he's gonna be going with Essence Reaver. I don't know if he read the patch notes. The stats are still fine, but I think it's not as a good fit for Jin as Storm Razor would be. If you guys don't know, the new Essence Reaver makes your auto attacks give you 20% mana from after channeling your ult. So I feel like Sivian's gonna be when you play Jin, you're gonna be ulting from far away. So I don't think he's gonna.
Ooh, Aron could be in big trouble. Is gonna activate pretty low caught in the Cataclysm, and that's Sonic Cabs grabbing another kill there in the mid lane as Aron gets caught a little too far forward. Bridge is up to the top side with Hyundai Trick. They may want to go for Sievert, but Sievert's feeling pretty strong right now and will just kind of scare Hyundai Trick away from any further aggression.
Whoa. It was really questionable to see from Aron Blade. He has a ward on this bot side, and he's hanging on the top side of his lane. It's a mistake that you can't do against TF-J4. I feel like when you use your wards in BSG, you don't really see a lot of wards, but when you use it, make sure to get the most efficiency from it. And as I was saying on Essence Reaver, I feel like with Jin, you're always gonna be ulting from far away, and I don't think the Essence Reaver active.
Ooh, this could be big trouble. Nizumi forced away from the
Brom's gonna die, yeah.
Thanks to the explosive charge, the Ignite is burning on Nizumi, but it's not going to be enough. That's a 1-for-1 trade. To Live Is the Smile does go in aggressively, though, to cancel the Jin ultimate, saving his support's life, and that's a 1-for-0 trade in favor of AOL. Now up 11-6, about 2,500 gold lead right now. Could get a little bigger right now. Sievert is going to get solo first tower gold and may get a kill here as well. Bridge is trying to run away, but there's the ultimate coming out from the Vlad. He's trying to run, but it might not be enough. He's burning down. Ooh, the ultimate not enough to finish him, but still Sievert going to be able to secure this one with the Q. And that's another solo kill for the Vladimir. Now 5-1-1.
Oof. It's rough. It's starting to look really tough for ESG now. Vlad is gonna be so far ahead. He's just gonna be one-shotting everyone. We already see what he can do to a Singe, which is probably their tankiest member now. So it's gonna be disgusting to see what Vlad is gonna be able to do to ESG's team.
Yeah, and one thing to note, we already know, the 4-kill lead over Fridge, but also about a 40 CS lead means he's sitting at about 2,500 gold ahead. Armblade as they do go for the dive, but it is going to be turned around. Hundy Trick goes down, does trade for Sonic Cabs though, so that is a actually a 2 for 0 there as ESG gets a positive play on the bottom side. They will be able to get a tower as well in the dive, so good play there on the other side of the map. But the problem is Siebert is pushing on the top side. He doesn't take towers down extremely quickly, but was able to get that wave pushing, and the response will be late from Fridge.
Yeah, I don't know why ESG called for Fridge TP down there. I think when he channeled it, the first kill, I think Tristana was first killed, and then he didn't even got there for the second one. So, but we're gonna be able to see another dragon coming from ESG. So even though the first one was a steal, the second one was really a made-up play, planned from maybe minutes. So really good dragon control from ESG. I think it's the only way they can get back in this game now. It's just catching free dragons and free kills. Because I feel like if they're going in team fights as of right now, I feel like this game would just explode. You really don't want to see that Vlad in the team fight now. Even Tristana with this full item completed, and Jin doesn't even have an item yet, so it's gonna be real tough to fight that Tristana power spike.
Yeah, so in the grand scheme of things, you do mention Fridge using his teleport to the bottom side, and if we kind of look at the overall picture of that play, Fridge uses his TP and it nets them 2 kills, their first tower, and a Cloud Drake, their second Elemental Drake. And all they really lost was a little bit of damage to their top tier 2, so a pretty good trade, but Siebert gets to the mid lane and takes down Sivian.
Yeah.
In the 1v1, we're going to see a fight on the bottom side. Aron is going to get caught by the fucking dragon to live it to the smile. He is going to be able to grab his 3rd kill of the game, so that's 2 for 0 in favor of AOL. But just speaking of that, teleport play, was fairly positive and a solid trade for the side of ESG. Not getting a ton of done here though in the following minutes, as they will lose their mid tier 1, could lose the tier 1 on the bottom side, as well as the Tristana and J4 pushing down here. There is also going to be pressure onto the tier 2. Fridge is in the blue side jungle of AOL right now, not really getting much done. I don't know if he could defend this tower, but that is going to be another tower. So that's a 3 tower trade all of the sudden for AOL, and that gold lead has now ballooned to 6,000. So they are securely in the lead here. Hundy Trick is forced away from his Raptor camp by Siebert. Maybe turning around for the trade, but he doesn't have any backup yet. Siebert wants to go in and go for this kill. Whoa. But he is going to try and flash away. That's the ultimate activated. There's the Black Shield onto Hundy Trick. They're going to try and take down the Vladimir, but it's not going to be enough. That's the shutdown for Sievert. Now he wants to go for more. Sonic Cab's going fairly low. King Adua trying to get here in, is going to get the stun onto the J4 flip back, and King Adua grabs the kill, but that's still the triple for Sievert. He wants Fridge. Fridge is pretty low, and the Vladimir is still pretty healthy. No tower to protect Sivian. He's going low. Here comes Sievert. He wants more. He's going to chase under tower. This is certainly risky. Doesn't have flash to close the gap. He's actually going to take a lot of damage there. Does use the Zhonya's healing up a little bit, but there's the ultimate coming out from Sivian. Can he secure the kill? One more shot will do it, but that's the flash in, but still the shutdown for Fridge. He's going to lose his life, possibly to Nezumi here. Yeah, that will be it. The heal is too late from Sivian. As Nezumi secures that kill, that Vladimir is absolutely huge. 9-2-2, and absolutely tearing apart ESG in that last fight.
Wow. I'm speechless. 21 minutes in, and we see people diving inhibitor turrets by themselves. I couldn't think I would have seen that in tonight's game. I really hoped and I really expected a closer game than that. But Vlad has 3 items, while ESG has 3 items combined with their team combined together as a team. So it's really disgusting. You could see the lack of continuing damage, while Vladimir would just be able to sustain through the Singe Poison, Morgana Burst, or whatever damage she has, because I feel like she doesn't do anything yet. They just cracked the entire game open.
Nezumi does get caught a little too far forward in the ESG jungle and does go down. So good job by ESG, able to grab that pick. Let's see if they can follow that up, though, as it appears that AOL wants to try and start setting up vision around the Baron. We're at 22.5 minutes. That is live. The other thing to note, Infernal Drake is up in 90 seconds, and with the 2 elemental stacked Drakes for ESG, they're definitely going to want that. And if I'm AOL, I want to deny that and add that little extra scaling to my composition. So I would definitely see a fight incoming around that neutral objective.
Yeah, because like we talked earlier, I feel like the only way ESG can come. Oh,
Sievert's feeling pretty strong. Could get stunned here, but he has got so much sustain, and Blue Edit gets the kill on the King of Duo. Fridge trying to get into the backline. This could be big trouble. He is going to be able to flip in the Tristana and take her down, but Sievert is still trying to get into the backline. Sivian able to take down Sonic Caps. Fridge trying to run away, but Nezumi and Blue Edit are going to be able to secure that kill as he burns down. That's Fridge going down. Sievert is actually low. Is able to go down there. That's the double kill for Aron, and they're going to try and turn this around. Blue Edit is going to get stunned, but great cleanse there to try and get away. He is able to avoid the dark binding, but that's still going to be the ace for ESG as they turn around that fight. Excuse me. What a turnaround from ESG.
I guess you can never count ESG out. They showed it multiple times last season, and now they're showing it again. Singe was able to get to Tristana with a flashless Tristana, I would say. So they're really gonna get this dragon control once again. But this team fight was really good. I feel like AOL got really cocky, and they bit more than they could chew.
ESG definitely not out of this game. Now down about 4,000 gold and looking to possibly play for this Infernal Drake. We'll have to see if they can secure it. All of a sudden, my throat is not very happy with me, but ESG is going to be pretty happy with themselves. Trying to contest for this Drake as AOL will have the inside track on it, but here comes Fridge. He wants that support, is going to pull her back, and that's Nezumi going down, but here comes the team. They're trying to get onto the backline. King of Duo is pretty low, but here comes Sievert trying to get onto the backline. There's the pop, and down goes the support. There goes Aron Blade as well. Honey Trick and Fridge are still alive. Sivian trying to deal out the damage, and that's the double kill for the Jhin. Can he get the triple? Not the triple, but that's the triple for the Vladimir, but Fridge and Honey Trick still alive. That will mean no Infernal Drake as of yet for either team. To live is to smile, and Blue Edit still alive against the Honey Trick and Fridge duo there. They're going to be able to grab the Scuttle Crab, which will secure them some vision, and the Counter-Strike will avoid the yellow card there for Honey Trick, and Fridge can go clear the wave on the bottom side, so Infernal Drake will have to wait.
These fights are so chaotic. Wow, it just goes even and even. I can't believe that ESG is getting an edge in these fights. Jax is getting huge as we see King of Duo putting his Knight's Vow on him. It's level 15. He's the highest in the game right now, and he's really
even higher than the Vladimir.
Yeah, wow! Like it's really good showing from Hyundai Trick. He has the fate on his team on his back, and hopefully for ESG, the Jax carry is gonna pop off. But I really feel like I know these fights are going even or ahead for ESG, but I feel like if they really get a 5-on-5 when everyone is there, because I think Blue Edit came late as same for To Live is to Smile. So I feel like if they have a real 5v5 and a Baron fight, I don't think that AOL can lose a team fight. I feel like it all depends. In my honesty, it feels like if Tristana can place herself really well, I feel like AOL's got this in the bag. But if she gets caught like the fight we've seen mid lane, I feel like AOL's could just really lose this fight.
AOL starting to get the push going in the mid lane, possibly trying to set up to peel back to that Infernal Drake. But it looks like Honey Trick doesn't want to let them do it. AOL is going to start moving their way towards that objective. Fridge is backing, but has teleport available. They do have a ward around their blue buff, so he can't get here pretty quickly. But Nezumi is going to shield, get the Mantra shield onto his team to speed them up over there. But they haven't started it yet. They're kind of trying to set up maybe a little bit of a death brush here. See if they can catch ESG out, stepping a little too far forward. Here's the big thing, though. AOL has a good minion wave pushing on the top side that is going to get some solid damage onto that tier 2. So if they delay, that's going to do a lot of work. But they're going to jump onto Sievert. He is going to be able to pull that, at least for a little bit. King of Duo is fairly low, but the Jin is firing away on the backside. Arm Blade's going to go down as Sonic Cabs locks down a couple in the Cataclysm. Fridge doing a solid bit of damage. Honeytrick forced to flash away, but Televis the Smile is going to get into the backline and gets the shutdown onto the Jax. There's the ultimate, the triple kill for the Tristana, and Televis the Smile carries that team fight. AOL get the nearly the clean ace, only Fridge surviving there, running the Proxia wave on the bottom side, but AOL is going to break the base here in the mid lane.
Wow. We were just talking about it, how Tristana has to be the carry in behind his front line, her front line, and they just executed it perfectly. Sievert goes in, just kills everyone, while Sonic Abs tanks for his ADC, and Televis to Smile is just making real good work here.
This is super risky for AOL. They push in a little.
Wow.
And take down Fridge. That's going to be one Nexus Tower until Televis the Smile wants to go in further. Sivian going to take a lot of damage. Ooh, Sievert going fairly low, but just able to escape with his life as Honeytrick got onto the Vladimir. There's the flag and Dragon. Televis the Smile is able to take down the Jax. Sivian's going to go down as well. That's a double kill for the 80 carry, and this could be the game. AOL Phoenix are going aggressive, and they're going for the win. One Nexus Tower is down. They're looking for the second, but Aron Blade is all that is left to defend the base. Is going to use the ultimate, but is going to go down. That's the ace in the victory as AOL Phoenix will start their season off with a win.
Wow, impressive work from the team, from the AOL squad. I'm just speechless once again. This game was so close until they had that fight in the river, and then everything just went in AOL's favor. It's impressive showing. Tristana can thank Vlad just to get her from that poor early game to that strong mid-late game. And then Vlad just thanked Tristana for his mid-game teamfight prowess. Really good showing from AOL. They really seem to be on the same pace compared to ESG.
Yeah, and one thing to note, Televis the Smile had 3 kills through, I think the first 24 minutes or so in that game, and then ended up finishing with 10. So it was a big part of those last couple of team fights, sitting on 2.5 items, doing a lot of work on the Tristana. Let's check the initial damage numbers here just to take a peek. Oh, man. Whew, Sievert absolutely going off on the Vladimir. 36,500 damage, over 1,000 damage per minute in a 29-minute game. That is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, next best in the game was half of that. Aron Blades Morgana doing just over 18,000. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Sievert was just so strong on that Vladimir, doing a ton of work, finishing 12-4 and 11, 213 CS, and just hard carrying and able to be that big threat from the top lane that allowed the Tristana to be fairly safe in those fights and free fire to be able to finish off that game. So big props to Sievert in that early game advantage he built that snowballed into a victory for AOL.
Yeah, that was exactly what I was going to say. This is a perfect example of how to snowball an early advantage like that. He had 3 stacks on his blade, and he got 10 in 10 minutes. And then the rest of the game, you saw it. Vlad flanking, one-shotting people. There was a time he just queued an E Jin, and he was dead. So that's really a really good showing from Sievert when his team was falling a little behind, but he was always ahead. He was always the one in the team fight, popping everyone off. So impressive work from Sievert. And I feel like his Vlad is going to be doubted. He's pretty sure he's going to be banned.
Yeah, gonna take a peek at the damage taken here. Should be up on your screen right now. And Honeytrick actually taking the most damage in the game, nearly 31,000. Do have to recognize him, a big player for ESG in that game. Did a lot of work, finishing at 6-3 of 10, a very respectable score for how much his team struggled. And he was a huge part of keeping ESG in that game. The few fights that they were able to take were heavily around Hundy Trick being able to get to the back line and get some kills and secure those victories for his team. So definitely honorable mention there to Hundy Trick for a great performance on that Jack here to start the season.
Yeah, I feel like the damage taken from AOL side is pretty high, despite ESG having no kill. I've just impressive work from the sustain they have built in their team comp. Really good team comp, as we predicted it in the pick and ban phase.
Yeah, and you should see the vision scores and control awards purchased on your screen now. Good job, especially shout out to Nazumi and the Karma, doing a lot of work in the vision game, being able to set his team up to make a lot of plays around the vision he was able to build and deny. So good job by the AOL support to set his team up through the vision game. And that is going to wrap it. Go ahead, please.
It's a typical BSG game where an ADC or mid laner doesn't buy a pink ward. Special shout out to Live is to Smile, making sure that these numbers never change on the ADC part. Never buy a pink ward. Always invest in more damage.
There's got to be at least a few points in the game where you're sitting on an extra 75 gold. Buy a ward. Don't buy more pots, just buy a pink ward. It's not that hard. It will save your life more times than you can count.
Yep.
coming from a support that has to buy them all the time, they are awesome. I promise, AD carries.
Special shout out.
All right. Well, that is going to do it here tonight for us, folks. We are closing out day one here of the BSG Competitive Series, season number 3. Thank you so much for joining us, folks, for these 3 games. It was an absolute blast to cast with Fridge and Naughty Green here, with some great matchups here to kick things off. Saw victories from AOL Phoenix, Conqueror Gaming, and what was our first game? Oh my gosh.
Wasn't it OC against...
oh, yes, OC Nation over KISS. So OC Nation, AOL, and Conquer grabbing victories to start off the season. Couple of things here to note before we close things out, guys. If you want to continue to support us here, obviously come out and watch us. And the easiest way to make sure that you know when we're live is to follow and subscribe. Shout out to everybody who subscribed today. Green Boys, we saw all of our past subscribers, everybody re-upping. Thank you so much. But make sure to follow and subscribe, folks. Other ways to support us as well. Check out our social media. We're at Duo Esports on Twitter and Instagram. Consider donating. The donation link is that big donate button down in the description. And that's going to do it for us here tonight, folks. So for myself, Fridge, Naughty Green, our awesome producer, Warhood, and our head of casting, everybody over at Duo Esports, we want to thank you guys so much for joining us tonight, and we will see y'all again next time.
Thank you.